you hear them talking, think they want you dead. It's all in your head.
All right, welcome back to the Paint Trips podcast. I'm here with Art Haus. Thank you for coming out, man.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, man. You brought some of your prints, man. How cool.
Thanks. Yeah, I just because a lot of these ones that I have, like this one for example, it's like on a 5 foot by something canvas,
Oh, shit, it's big.
it doesn't even fit in my car, man. So I
that's
literally
what's up,
would
man.
have to.
I mean, I like big paintings, man.
That was like probably like the first biggest one that I've done,
Yeah.
and like it just I can't take it anywhere. I literally have to borrow somebody's car just to put it in, so I can take it with me.
So you can take it with you.
Yeah,
That's what's up,
it's only
man.
it's only actually been to one location, and this character actually it's a Dottie Gleason original character, Annabelle. It's one of hers. She's probably one of the people that like I really love her artwork that I got inspired with, and I asked if I can actually recreate her character, and she gave me the permission to, and this is what I was able to come out with, and it's on a freaking huge canvas, man.
Hell yeah. And it's canvas, right?
It's canvas, yeah,
Oh,
it's
sick.
canvas.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And it's acrylic, right?
Yeah, acrylic.
That's
That's pretty much all that I work with
Hell
is
yeah.
acrylic.
Have you varnished it or like added
Yeah,
like a sealer or something?
Yeah, this one just has varnish on it, so
Varnish?
it's probably
Oh, that's what's
3
up.
coats. Since it's a freaking huge, I had to actually I did like a coat and a half. Then I had to go back around the store and get some more because I ran out.
Oh shit.
So yeah, don't varnish unless you know you have enough
Yeah,
of the
because then
supplies.
you're like, oh shit, if I don't come back, what if it
Yeah.
starts drying? Or,
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
hell
it's
yeah.
like a good thing that it's like it wasn't too far where I had to go, and I was able to pick it up. But yeah, 3 coats of varnish that are on
Man,
it.
that's
yeah.
crazy, man. And what about the other ones? They're big as well. Is that's just like the big?
This is probably the biggest that I've done, and then this one's like I think like a 24 by 36.
Okay, it's still pretty big.
Yeah, and then the
Yeah.
rest were pretty much like on 16 by 20.
And that's acrylic as well. In your
Yeah,
other
this
one?
is all
that's
acrylic.
tight, man. That's really cool. Like line work. Let me see that.
Yeah, the yellow that I got, I can't remember. It was like a lemon yellow or something. So actually, that picture doesn't do it justice. But if you're to see it in person, like that yellow really stands out. You know.
Yeah, I can just imagine. That's sick, dude. And then did you varnish this?
Yeah, I did everything on varnish.
So it's got like a nice little.
So it has a nice little gloss.
It does have.
Yeah,
gloss.
I always
okay.
get the high. I always get the gloss varnish on it.
It looks tight, right?
I like the way it
Yeah,
looks. I don't know, just
me
that
too,
little
man.
like if you put it like in a certain area, like just the way the light hits it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives it like that little extra feature.
That canvas up there, I varnished over there, and I'm like, oh, it looks so tight, you know. The only bad thing is like you have to take a picture before you varnish.
Yeah.
Because once you varnish, you get
Then you get that little horrible. You
bright
get like
glares.
that one little
Yeah.
glare, and then like the rest is fine, but that one spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I tend to do both. I kind of like take pictures throughout like the whole process. Yeah.
That's tight. Do you do time lapses, man?
Unfortunately, I don't. I think I've only done it like maybe twice. It's because usually when I'm doing it by myself, and I kind of like I don't want to keep running back and trying to do it or like recreate it again. It's just like, and then I forget.
Yeah.
So it's just like I just take pictures and then kind of go from there and
I
see how
hate
it
when you
happens.
forget and you've already advanced so much. Like let's say you forgot, and then towards the end you're like, oh, I should have done a time lapse for this.
Yeah.
But it's like it's changed it so much. You're like, I don't even know why I should keep doing the time lapses because a huge chunk of the process is gone.
And then like I the one that I did, and it's like they were like, oh, you should do this more often. And I'm like, yeah. Haven't done it since.
Yeah.
I always forget. You know. I think I did something like that with this one, and that's probably like been my favorite.
Dude, is
piece.
this pouring?
That's a fluid art, and then once it dried, I sketched out the octopus on it, and I used the acrylic markers and acrylic paint so it's both brush and markers on that one.
That looks dope, dude. And this, did you choose this before the painting was done or after? And you're like,
after.
Oh, I could probably make this look like.
Yeah, I did it after
That's
just
dope.
because of the color scheme that it came out, and like it kind of like you see the little cells that are on it.
Yeah.
It kind of gave it like the suction cup of the octopus tentacles on it. So it's like, I think I can work with this one. So
That's
like
dope,
that's
dude.
kind of like what I try to do.
Have
but
you done
this
more of
one,
these?
yeah. Well, the Goku one right here is
shit.
but I already had. I went into that one with the thought already in my head,
do
because I kind of like was doing the. I had just started watching the Dragon Ball Super, and so like how they turn blue now, and it's just like crazy. So like I kind of had that thought with that, and
Dude, that's
I
what's
went.
up.
I went into that one already prepped, like in my head, what I wanted to do with that.
That's a really cool idea, man.
Wow, thanks, man.
It looks like the fucking.
I hope that was like
dope.
the thing that I was trying to go for, you know.
Yeah.
But like, thank you to my sister who bought it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So have you thought of doing more like that, like a little series? I mean, obviously you already have a series because you have two, but
I've
with
done
other
a
characters?
few,
like maybe.
but like I haven't. I know. Dude, I
Right?
really like. I probably should have did it with that
Orange,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, but now that.
So let me ask you.
yeah, go for it.
Spoilers or whatever. Sorry to interrupt, but what version of Naruto is that? Like,
That's
that in
he's a little
Boruto?
bit. Yeah, he's already like a little bit older on this one. Like
okay,
I think
okay.
it's kind of like after the Shippuden series. After he gets married, or like right towards the end. And he's already like at the what is it, the QB sage mode that he gets. So it's a little bit kind of before the ending of it, I guess. Before he goes into before he gets married. It's kind of like in
Okay.
during that time frame.
But it's past the Shippuden series.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
Or
why,
it's like during
'cause I was
towards the
like,
ending
I've
of
never
it.
seen that look or that like.
Because of the shorter hair, the stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
They get a
Like,
little bit because like I think it kind of like when he had the coat when they were like so it's actually it's after the series because he doesn't have the coat anymore like the kind of
that little
overcoat
yeah,
that
the
trench coat looking that he
yeah,
has
he
he doesn't have it anymore on that one so it's a little bit like older like I think kind of going like after the Shippuden but going into like the Boruto like
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like in between somewhere in between them
those?
yeah
Oh, that's tight, dude. Oh yeah, man. What are you gonna? Oh, is that what you're working on right now?
This is actually something
Now?
that I've done before, but I was just I don't know like I was at a sketch night and like there was like these two girls that they were we were sketching live, and we had like a little break in between and it was like almost like a 20-minute or something like that they were giving breaks in between, and I was like I don't know why this thing popped back into my head because I did it originally. It was probably like an 11 by 14 inch canvas. And I used gold leaf on it for the moon background. So it's like I used like a silver gold leaf, or silver leaf, I guess.
Yeah.
You couldn't call it gold because it's not gold.
Right.
But I did that, and so basically it has like the skull right here, like in the stomach area, and I don't know why, but it popped back into my head,
Yeah,
and I was just like I started going to town on it because I had like that 20-minute break, and so. I was like, well, let me try it with color since I'm colorblind. Let me see what I can work with and see how like if I jack it up or not.
So are you colorblind?
I am actually
Yeah.
red green, but
So like, do they? So those just they look alike?
see, it's not necessarily just red green. So it's like more like reds, greens, browns, blues, purples. I tend to get all those ones confused. So like, it sucks because
okay.
like when I go out and buy like paint and stuff like that, if it doesn't say blue or red, like I'm like, and it's like just like what's like the what's this one like the burnt Sierra or whatever like that. I'm like, okay, it looks brown to me, but I'm not sure. So like I always have to ask people, or it's like even thinking when I go shopping for clothes, like it's like I buy a shirt and it's like, what color does it have in like the pattern? You know, it's like, cause I'm not sure. I always look stupid and people think that I'm trying to flirt with them. It's like the ladies at the when I'm buying the shirt, it's like, no, I really can't tell what color it is, you know. So it's just kind of like I didn't realize it until like I was adult when I joined the service. I had to take this color vision test in order to go airborne. And basically they showed me a marker like, what color is this? I'm like, red. What color is this? Green. I'm like, okay, cool, you passed. But I didn't pass there's like, I guess they're like circles and have all these like weird patterns in it, and you're supposed to be able to see a number. So it's like I think I seen like 2 out of like 14. And so like, oh, this dude's colorblind, you know. So it's like, and ever since then, it's like
That's
I started,
when you find out.
yeah, and I was like, everything started to make sense now. I was like, oh, like I never matched when I was growing up, and
Hey,
so,
that's
but
an interesting story, man. Not till then you're like, hey,
yeah, you know, and so it's like when I'm picking colors, it's like if I can't tell right off the bat what it is, and if it doesn't specifically say that color, even if it's like a different shade of it, then I was like, I'm kind of like leery about buying it because I'm not 100% sure on what color it is. So like with these color pencils,
but you do see tones.
Yeah, I
right?
see the tones.
Like all
yeah.
the tones are there. It's just like you're not sure what the color is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So like you just keep them in the same tonal range, but yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of the reason why when I started like dabbling in the art or like painting or whatever, I went to like the fluid art, like on the abstract side. It's just because I didn't care what colors to use, because then when they all mesh together, it just creates different colors as it is, you know. Yeah, so it's like, oh, cool, I could work with this. That's why I fell in love with the fluid art. And once I started kind of like doing like stuff like this with the actual characters and stuff like that, I kind of stick to colors that I can tell, or they're like solid colors, like easy, that they're distinguishable, that I can tell between, like differentiate between the two. And you know, I went that route. But like, if I can, I'm like, I don't know what I would be doing right now, man.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's like one of those little stories that like people trip out when I tell them. It's like,
yeah, because honestly, like the art you're making, you wouldn't think that
right
to be the case, you know, because you are creating stuff that's very colorful, very like, you know, you're very, I guess, selective with the colors, the bold colors and stuff like that.
So you see that I have a lot of black in my stuff. It's just like, or like I use them more as like the outlines, or I tend to go a lot towards the black or like certain color blues, just because I can distinguish the colors easier, you know. And then it's like when I get into like the reds, it's like, then that's when I start having issues. It's like if it's not like, if it doesn't say like red, bright red, or crimson red, and it's like I think that one's red.
So in your case, you definitely have to keep your bottles clean. So or label them. Do you label them?
I label them.
Yeah, because the stock label rubs off.
They rubs off. Yeah. So it's like I'm like it's like right there at my house. They always get made fun of because I'm like doing some stuff like that. It's like, oh, did the color come off again, or the label came off? It's like
at your house.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, it's fine. I kind of got used to it though after this time. It's been a while, so it's just like, oh wow, what can you do, right?
Yeah, you can't really. What about streetlights, man?
I think it's just I base it on the height, because like, you know, those new ones that they had, they're like, you know, sometimes you can't even tell like if it's on or something, you know. It's just like I'm just gonna go and like risk it, see what happens, you know. But like I know when like those ones I was able to tell, but like when I was in the service, there's like when we're getting ready to jump out of an airplane, they have like these it's an amber color, and then I think it's basically kind of like the same colors to the streetlights, but I don't know if it's because it's darker in there, it's kind of hard to tell. So it's like, dude, just if the top light's on, don't go. The bottom one's on, you're okay to go. So I kind of based it off of that. So it's just like, you know, I've been fortunate though. I haven't had any issues where it's become like an issue for me, but it's just like sometimes I did notice that it's like kind of hard to like tell them. But like if I can see like the order that it's in, then I'm good.
Then you're good. Yeah, because the order, I don't think it's ever.
I don't think that's ever changed, and I hope it doesn't.
Right.
They're gonna throw a lot of us off.
For real. So, how long were you in the service for now?
I was in from 01 to 06. So throughout the whole time that I was there, I was airborne. So I was stationed on the East Coast, pretty much for my whole tour, and then actually I re-enlisted to go to Okinawa. So I lived in Japan for a little while.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, I loved it out there. That's how I got into. That's how I got into anime. And like, and it's like it's real big out there. You know, it's like if it's not bowling or karaoke, that's the next biggest thing. You know, it's just like they have karaoke parlors on like every other block, and bowling alleys similar like that, like every other 2 blocks, but they always have something like anime related, you know, no matter where you go in there. So I think that was one of the things that I gravitated towards it. I just didn't understand what they were saying because they didn't have subtitles, but you know, eventually like when I came back to the States, it was just like I was like all over freaking anime, man. So,
Oh, that's crazy, man. And you were there for how long?
I did like maybe it was close to 2 years. So it was like a year and like 9 months, give or take. Yeah.
So you were like in a base, or?
Yeah. So we're actually the only army installation there. You know, everywhere else it's like either Marines or Navy or Air Force. So it's like we always got shit everywhere we went. You know, it's like, but I was with the Special Forces unit, so it's like we basically did what we wanted. Like, you know, like when you're driving around in like trucks or anything like that, you're supposed to have like your Kevlar's on, which is like your helmet. Us, we didn't care. We just ride around without them, and it's like we get all kinds of shit. Like, hey, you guys are supposed to be wearing this, and I was like, we're not Marines, so like we don't care. So it's like they used to give us all kinds of shit because of it. It's just like, so it's kind of like it was cool, It's like I had a blast out there, man. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, definitely a blast. Jumped into the Philippines, partied out there for a little bit.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, dude. So it was cool, man.
Yeah, man. So you've traveled quite a bit then, man.
I've been around the block. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up, dude.
I think it was total like 7 different countries I've been to.
And what would you do again? Where would you go back?
If I were to go back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a new
I don't
place.
know.
Where would you want to go that you haven't been, or that you didn't get a chance to go?
I would probably like to get stationed in Germany.
Germany.
Yeah, like right now that Oktoberfest is going on, that'll be like,
yeah.
It's funny is because speaking of Oktoberfest, we had just got back from a deployment, and our plane was having like these technical issues, so we actually stood out there during the Oktoberfest for like 2 weeks just for plane maintenance, which wasn't the case. It's just everybody wanted to party, dude. Like, yeah, like one beer a day and that's your limit. And it was like, that's cool. I only need 1 beer to get drunk anyways. Like, I haven't drank in so long, so it's like pretty cool. But like the beers are like the cups that they give them to you, and they're like 32 ounce.
Yeah,
it's like a 32 ounce right there. So it's like, and the beer's a lot stronger. So it's like, if I definitely can stay, yeah, dude. It's just like, I'm cool with 1 beer, man. But if I can get stationed out there, I definitely would. But cool. I think it would be probably bad on my part. I'd probably get in trouble.
Why?
Be driving on the Autobahn or somewhere, or getting too like drunk or.
Yeah. That's funny, dude.
But other than that, I think I would do it over again. Like go back in even after everything that's kind of like took place and what's going on, and I definitely think I would go back and do it again. Yeah.
Oh, that's good, man. So you definitely had a very enjoyable time. It wasn't like all bad.
No, I mean don't get me wrong. It's like any other job that you do.
It gets
it gets redundant, or you get complacent with things, or you always have that asshole of a boss. I'm sorry, can I cuss? I didn't even notice.
Oh yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, you can cuss, dude.
Oh, okay. So you get like stuff like that, but it's like the norm, and you just deal with stuff, and
so it gets like every other work spot.
Yeah. The only good thing about it is that you get to travel every now and then, but the thing that sucks is that it's like those commercials that they used to have back in the days, like you do more before 6 o'clock than some other people do throughout their whole day, which is literally true. But at the same time fucking sucks, because be doing like a freaking ruck march or something like that, or you'll be doing some type of training, or you're waking up in the freaking swamp areas, or it's like crazy.
Yeah. So there's stuff that really suck about it.
Yeah, but at the same time it's cool, because I've learned a lot. It's like, if I was ever to if something were to happen and I had to go survive in the wilderness, I know I'd be able to come out of it alive.
Okay. So it gave you confidence?
Yeah. Okay. So it has its merits,
That's what's up, man. And do you feel like it made you a more resilient person, more disciplined and stuff like that, or do you feel like that stuff you had before, or you don't know? It did not.
Nah, man. When I went into the army, I was a freaking knucklehead, man. Roaming the streets, messing around, tagging on walls and stuff like that. So in and out of juvie, I did a quick stint in Wayside. So I had that past where I just went in there as a knucklehead, and so the whole discipline aspect, that was non-existent for me, But as I went in and I kind of started liking the stuff, and as I was moving up in ranks, you have to. It's basically like they say, you always want to lead from the front, not the rear. So it's you want to set that example, set the tone. So it's when I had started having people that fell under me and their lives were under in my hands, so it's it changed me a lot. So
that overwhelming responsibility.
Yeah.
You're not when you're out there, it's not just you. You have people that depend on you.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And especially too with the whole deployment situation, I had probably maybe. The first time, I didn't have nobody until probably 6 months into my deployment. and then I ended up with like 5 people under me, and then the second time I had 10 people. So it's like, their lives are in your hands. They expect you to lead them if something went down. So it's like it's a lot of responsibility, and like I didn't want to be
responsible.
yeah, if
first.
anything like that happened, it's like I don't know what I would have did if something like that happened.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy, man. Like, it seems like that overwhelming responsibility changed you from being a knucklehead, man. Like,
If you knew me back then, don't get me wrong though, it still comes out every now and then if need be. I think that's like with anybody, but it's like when push comes to serve type situation. But like for the most part, I'm just like real chill, man. Like easy to get along with. I talk to everybody and their mom. It's it changed me a lot. Down to even the way that I dress. I probably kept a bald head, but I grow my hair every now and then. But like for the most part, I try to stay bald 'cause I can't get used to the hair. It lasts me for a couple months, and then I'm like right back to being bald again.
that's crazy, man. So you serving did like a life changing experience.
Literally.
It's like some people's like what is it like near death experience type of thing where like they completely change their view and perception of reality and like what they're doing with their stuff.
Yeah, it's basically what happened.
That's
I mean, I was not a born again Christian type situation.
Oh yeah, and the born again Christians.
But
Yeah.
I mean, you can probably take it that way. But yeah, it just definitely changed a lot. It put a lot of things into perspective for me, and just the life that I was living. It was like either I'm gonna end up dead or in jail. It was going that route. So it was gonna be either or. So it's like that's one of the reasons why I took off, and I'm thankful for it. Granted that all the crap that I had to endure or going through now, but it's like it basically changed me and saved my life, I think, in a sense.
Yeah, man. That's crazy, dude. Like I've always been like very just weary about like serving and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And obviously there's situations where I couldn't serve either way, but like I was always like, especially from my parents, I was always like, hey, like they would tell me like, hey, like whatever you do, like don't serve, blah blah blah.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I was like, oh, okay, and I don't know if it's because my parents had like bad experience with their government and whatever, but I always had that thought, but I always saw it as like, hey, I feel like you're doing stuff for other people, like you're just
basically
taking
not your
orders.
own person anymore.
You're just taking orders, yeah. So there's the whole puppet thing aspect of it, but I never saw it like this, like how you're explaining it, where it's like it took someone who was stubborn, didn't have really a path or whatnot, and like it didn't only just, it feels like the way you're saying it, they didn't like beat it into you.
No,
Like,
it was never
the
even
overwhelming responsibility, like they kind of guided you to become a better person because of this responsibility that you had other people's lives in your hands. Yeah, I never saw it that way, man. Like,
and I don't think a lot of people realize that until like they get in that type
Yeah.
of situation, and it's just like I never expected it, but then I like once I made that rank where I started having people under me, now like my drill sergeants and everything like that, like it makes perfect sense now. Like now I'm like in their shoes now, so it's like I know now it makes sense what they were trying to teach us and like how they were trying to guide us. It's like now I'm doing the same thing, so it's like it made sense after that point, and just like it's kind of funny though too. It's just like when I first joined, I basically enlisted for the wrong reasons, but I'm glad I did. But at the same time too, it's like when I told my family about it, they're all like, nah, you're crazy, like you're not going anywhere, It's like, yeah, my recruiter's here, he's picking me up now, my bags are packed, I'm going. It's like, okay, bye.
wow.
They still didn't believe me until like I would call them from like, hey, I'm over here at LAX, I'm getting ready to leave, just wanted to say bye. You guys probably won't see me for like who knows how long, because I'm gonna start my basic training like starting next week. And they were still skeptical, like, nah, you just
Seriously?
bullshitting. Yeah, dude, like
Wow.
the recruiter came and picked me up in a government car and everything. My family didn't believe me, and then after like I mailed the letter because I was in Georgia, at Fort Benning for my basic training, and I sent them home a letter like, "Hey, I'm here, I'm safe, and and this is what's going on." And
So what did they think? They think you were just out causing ruckus and shit?
I think in the beginning they did, and then once like I didn't come home for like a certain time, like a week passed, 2 weeks passed.
They're like,
they're
maybe
like,
he was
like yeah, literally, it's just it was like I know, right?
Yeah.
Like fuck, they can't even take my word for it all, dude. Like
yeah, they didn't even
no
say
faith
goodbye,
whatsoever.
nothing. They were just so skeptical about it being true.
Yeah, it's funny. And then so they ended up going to my my basic training graduation, which is another funny story, is because my sister's name is Christina Aguilera.
Really?
Yeah. So when I put them on the guest list that they were gonna come and visit me, they thought they were fucking having a celebrity and shit. I'm like, no, you guys are gonna get disappointed, bro. It's not even like that. It's like so. They're like, hey, so they had people go pick up my family from like the fucking airport. Oh, not the airport, from the hotel that they were staying, thinking that they were basically giving them fucking priority treatment or like VIP treatment.
Seriously?
Yeah, dude.
Is that the only time that's happened to her, or has like little shit
with
like,
me? Yeah,
okay.
I don't know if it's happened to her in the past or
Weird.
Just when she uses her name or whatever, like people like fucking think anything, but I thought it was like fucking hilarious. I'm like, dude, you guys are gonna be fucking pissed, man. I'm telling you, it's not her. They didn't believe me. They were like, shut up, you guys are nah, it's gonna be.
Excited
yeah, dude, that was like funny. But yeah, so when they picked them up and they're like, where is she at? I'm like, oh, she's right there. Like, no, that's not her. Where is she really? I'm like, no, really, that's my sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny, dude.
Military for you, man. Whenever you get a celeb or a celeb's name, it's like they jump all over it.
So, have you seen, you know how sometimes they do that whole...
oh, like those USO shows or where they go support the troops?
Have you ever seen that or not? Or have you ever been a part of that? Or
I've been to one. I could have been part of like several, but like I just...
You were over it?
I didn't care for much for it, because after, you're like overseas for so long already, it's just like, it does nothing for me, them being there. I'm thankful that they came support, and they perform for the troops and all that, and that's cool. My hat's off to them, but to me it was just like I could care less. Like I really didn't care, to me it was really nothing. But I think who was the first lab that we went? Damn, I can't even think of it because it's been so long. Because like we've been through so many. I've even tried. I was on like the security detail at one point for who the hell was it? Mustn't have been that famous because I can't remember them.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't that important.
Yeah, but I was on the security detail at one point for one of them. It was a singer too. I don't think she was really well known at the time, and
she probably blew up like right after.
Yeah, I think something like that happened. It was like one of those kind of stories. But I don't know why I can't remember her.
So when did you start like doing art? Like, was it when you were out there? Was it when you came back? Like, when did art become a part of your life? Or was that?
It's always been a part of my life.
Okay.
I've never actually painted though until recently. So literally, I only have like about a year under my belt for actually painting continuously. I actually did a painting, or a mural I should say, in Kuwait. So like they have like these big cinder blocks that are probably like maybe about 6 to 7 feet tall.
Okay.
And they were maybe like 10 feet wide. So I literally that was like my first mural that I ever.
Oh, how cool, you did it
so
out there.
like I did it out there in Kuwait. So
awesome,
I still have pictures from that, and after basically once I did that, everybody wanted to jump on the bandwagon, so other people were starting to do it and stuff like that. So it was just basically like 2 airplanes dropping like some paratroopers, and then they had like the 82nd emblem, the parachute wings like I have right here on my neck, and then like on the bottom part it had like all the times that we were there from like OAF, OEF, like where we were at basically within the region. And so, but I mean, like back in my days, like I did like the graffiti stuff, but to me I don't count that because it was just like
doing it for the art.
Yeah, I wasn't doing it for the art. So literally like around this time last year I did like a a poster board for my nephew's school for a Halloween booth that they were having at school, and it was just like it just from there it was just like it got me motivated to get back into it. So I started with the fluid art, and then I started with the painting, and like I kind of been like nonstop since, you know.
Dude,
So
that's
it's
what's
like,
up.
and it's I don't know. I think it's like because I don't work anymore, so it's like this is like literally what I do full time. It's like, you know, people are always searching for that thing that they love, that, you know, like for work wise or whatever. And it's like, to me, this is I found it. You know, it's like
That's
I
what's
kind
up.
of like around this time last year is when I figured this is what I want to do. You know,
Like
so
you
it's-
you feel fulfilled. Like,
Yeah.
And I apologize.
Nah, yeah,
that
no
was
worries.
so rude, dude.
Ah, that's cool, man. No worries.
But dude, that's what's up, man. Like you found it, like you feel fulfilled, like damn,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
So right now you're retired? Or-
Not retired per se, but kind of like with the military, I'm going through like a disability stuff like that. So,
Oh, okay.
not 100% disabled right now. I'm like about 80%, give or take. And so right now I'm kind of like pending them approving me to be permanently disabled.
Oh,
So because of that, I just started having some other medical complications back like in ending of 2016 that I've been going through since.
oh
And
wow.
um,
And this helped you through that?
it helps to an extent, and I mean it gets me through some bad days, but then it's sometimes that I can't even like lift like I can't grip like the pencil or my paintbrush because like my hands are I can't, you know. So it's like I have like all this other stuff that's going on, and just like, but like if I'm not able to do this, I don't like, it's like that's kind of I think one of the reasons why I curate art events now, because it's like if I can't do the art,
You want to do
I
something
want to do something
related.
art related.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
that's
kind of like
awesome,
where
dude.
I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Like, definitely doing art related stuff very, very like often. Like, it keeps you in that
It keeps-
creative state. It
yeah.
keeps your mind going. Like, you know.
Yeah.
And then when you can come back, like, you've already like laid out like you got all this
I
inspiration.
got this stuff in
You're
my
saying,
head. Yeah, like I was telling Street Siders here with us too, by the way.
Oh yeah, Street Sider. Woo, welcome back.
I know, like, you know, and I was telling them earlier on the way over here, like I had seen this picture. It's actually I had posted it on my story just earlier today. I've been working on it, but like I seen it. It kind of inspired me to do something kind of related to it. Then I seen somebody else's picture that's like she does like clothes and stuff. So it's Joss Boss Boutique. I asked her if I can use some, like a likeness of one of her pictures to create the scene that I'm doing right now. So it's actually on my story. So if you're following me, go ahead and take a look so you know which one I'm talking about. But it's actually on my other page, my Abstract World too. I'm doing that one kind of based off of something that I seen that inspired me to do it, and since it's in Halloween, I made it into like a Halloween or ghoulish type theme, you know. So it's a work in progress. I only have like the bottom portion of it worked on right now, where it's just like the graveyards that are actually painted, and I think the bats, and that's it. Oh, and the tree. But so it's like, you know, little things that get me inspired. It's kind of something like this. I can't recall what it was. I just love skulls in general.
Yeah.
So it's like anything skull related,
Anything
I
skull
do.
related.
Like I'll work on it. So you'll probably see a lot of skulls and stuff that I do. But like it kind of like inspired me to do something like that, and which is one of the reasons why I loved it so much, where I went ahead and just did like I created shirts out of it now. So it's like
Oh, sick.
so I did male and female shirts, but it has like different sayings in it. So it's like
Oh, is that why you left it blank there?
yeah, I left
Yeah.
this one blank right there. So it's like give people option if they like it. You want me to put something specific in there for you, I can do it. So I kind of went from like actually canvas onto like digital. So it's like I've been back and forth with between the two, you know, lately.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, anything art related, man, I'm all for it.
Yeah. And what are you using, the Procreate?
Unfortunately, no. I don't have the Apple or whatever it is. I
Yeah,
can't get into
yeah.
Apple, man. I don't
Yeah.
know. So it's like I have the Galaxy tablet.
Oh, okay.
So right now I use like a couple programs. I have like the Adobe Sketch, Adobe Draw, and then I think one's called Paint, if I'm not mistaken. I had this like a 7-day trial for it, and like I was still debating whether or not I was gonna pay for it because it's actually pretty cool, and that's probably like the closest that we have on the Samsung to the Procreate.
To the Procreate.
Yeah, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna go ahead and do it because it has like a lot of similar features on it, and like I could do stuff that I can't on the Sketch or the Draw from the Adobe ones. So yeah, I'm more than likely gonna fork up the money for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I felt the same way. Like, I'm not into any Apple. Like, I have a Samsung or whatever. And then my wife, she got an iPad or whatever. She got that stupid that pencil.
Yeah.
And dude, like, that shit is tight. Like, if you're gonna do anything, like, that pencil is gonna do it. You know.
Yeah.
There's honestly overall there's like a weird disconnect between traditional drawing or traditional anything to digital.
Yeah.
Even with that badass pencil and all that stuff, I always find this weird disconnect. Like, I don't get that final fulfillment of the digital.
Oh,
drawing,
okay.
You know, it's not because you don't like it, because it looks tight. Like, you're cool with your drawing.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's something about like it that I always like. I can't connect to it.
Just probably because it makes it more easier, maybe.
It's not even the easy one, because there's stuff in there that like it's not easy to do, and like it's not even that. It's just, I don't know, man. Because you're still doing the same movements. You're still, you know, and there's things that are more difficult on there. Like with painting, I can bring in paint, clean, bring in paint, whatever, you know? But with this, with like the Procreate or anything digital, I have to go in and fucking change something to pick up I have to press another key to pick up a color.
Oh, I get what you mean.
You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I have to mix, so yeah, that's bad. But just having to do extra steps to grab something, or like if I were to switch pencils, I can switch pencils like this.
Yeah.
Over there, I have to drop a menu down, bring over. Like, it seems like extra steps, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me, dude. I'm probably just old.
No, nah, far from it, man.
You know,
it's just like it's because it's like you know, we're advancing in times with the technology and stuff like that, you know, and I think it's just like a lot of people are getting more used to that versus like traditional. Like I know I only bought the tablet is just so I can actually do stuff like this or make prints. But if you see me, I'm always with like I have a sketchbook. Yeah, it's like I still like I'm kind of like old school in that sense, I guess you can say. I prefer it, you know, but that's why it's like I probably have more stuff like in a sketchbook than I do in my actual tablet.
Yeah. The tablet's like the stage before the printing stage.
Yeah, so I could just go hook it up and like, you know, print directly from my computer, or like technology nowadays I could Wi-Fi it or whatever. Yeah. So it's just like, I don't know, but I prefer to do like with the traditional stuff. Yeah. So it's like even when I'm working on the canvas, like even if I sketch, like how you showed me earlier, you had your sketch and then you were working on your painting. Well, I do kind of both, but then I still sketch it out on my canvas that I'm working on. And so it's kind of like if I'm doing like the double the sketch, I guess. You know, it's like, oh shit, I like this one better.
No, and honestly, I don't really like sketching a lot, really.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm not big on sketching. I mean, I'll do it, but there's no beating the sense of comfortability that you go into a painting when you've already done multiple sketches of it.
Oh, okay.
Like, you feel comfortable re-sketching it. It's, you're doing way more work because you're already doing more sketches.
Right.
But you go in there, like, knowing a lot of stuff.
Right.
When I go into paintings where I've done just one sketch, or, you know, it's been a creation through Photoshop to adjust my painting, and I've just brought up like the line art, you know, that when I just have the line art, now I gotta come in and try to figure stuff out. Like I try to figure stuff out in the canvas.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to figure a lot more stuff out in Photoshop, so I don't have to do a lot of this figuring out. Like, if I could paint on Photoshop, I would love to just paint on Photoshop, like a quick paint, and then, you know, but I fucking suck at it. Like I told you, I have a disconnect. So if I could paint on Photoshop, do my quick little paint study and bring it in here, that would be like the ideal thing.
Gotcha.
Because then I can come in here a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
But right now, when I go in there and all that extra shit, all the color, all that stuff, I have to figure out there.
You see,
You know?
and that's what I try to figure out before, because it's like, even before I even jump on the
And
canvas,
that's the
like,
way to do it, man.
well, I think mine's is just because I'm freaking colorblind, so it's like, shit.
Oh, you have to do a lot of mapping out.
Yeah, so it's like, if I, damn it, what color am I going to use for this? Or I'm like asking questions, you know, and I think it kind of like annoy my family, because I'm always asking them like, hey, what color is this? What color is that? And just like, dude, like, you need to buy those special contact lenses already, man. Just get over it. And I was like, I don't even know they sell them, man. You guys are just bullshitting me.
They're saying they got fucking...
Yeah, where that you'd be able to see like the actual color tones and stuff like that. And I was like, I just think they're fucking with me.
Oh, shit. I think they will. I think they will. That doesn't...
Right?
I'm sure you would have heard.
I'm pretty sure I would have added, like, when I was in the service. Like, I don't think they would have let anybody go colorblind.
There's glasses.
Are there?
Oh, yeah?
I seen a video where the guy was colorblind.
Uh-huh.
He was tripping out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like a blind person seeing for the first time type situation.
I've seen colors.
I see colors now. That'd be crazy, yo. I mean...
Would you get them if they...
I would be open for it, because I think that would open, like, a lot more possibilities for me, like, on the art-wise.
Yeah.
But then after too is like, I don't know, I kind of gotten used to this. It's because like it's helped me, because like I can be an introvert, you know, like I can just, you know, like just sit there in a room full of people and just like not say anything to anybody, just like observe everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But like the colorblind, I think it's helped me to kind of engage in conversations, because it's like, you know, even though I feel a little stupid or embarrassed like to ask people, it's just like at the same time too, it's helping me to kind of connect or forcefully get engaged with people. Yeah, you know.
That's cool, man.
So I kind of
you
look at it
definitely
that
saw
way.
the bright side in that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that a lot of people get really shy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Get really shy, especially when it comes to something like that, where it's like you have to tell someone that.
It's embarrassing, you know. It's like you know, you get those looks like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" type look, you know, like. Yeah, I seen that look already. I mean, like, no, I'm not bullshitting you. I really am fucking colorblind.
Yeah.
And it was like, there's this, because I used to shop at Express a lot, but then it got too expensive for me, so I don't fucking do that anymore. But like, I used to buy a lot of my shirts from right there. Because I love the material and how it feels, you know. It's like the stretchy and it's just like comfortable.
Soft,
yeah, you know. So it's like every time I go, it just got to a point where it's like the lady already knew me. You know, because I would always go back and ask the same person. It's like I felt comfortable with her already, and it's like if she wasn't working, I wouldn't go in.
Oh really?
Yeah, and it's because like to ask somebody new, it was just like one of those
This
things.
whole
It's
ordeal.
like, yeah, I have to go through all this shit again, and like get those looks and get made fun of.
So
and-
you were introverted, man.
yeah, man. So it's like
I mean, I'm sure you still are.
I am to an extent, or anywhere I go new, I am, because like I have a show that I'm doing this weekend on Sunday in Palm Desert.
Uh-huh.
I did it last month, but I'm doing it again this month, and it's just like when I went, I didn't talk to nobody towards probably like the end of the show, and that's when people started coming asking me like questions about my art and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, how come you didn't come talk to nobody, or just like, you know, like I see everybody chatting, and I'm just like right there, like, because I don't know anybody, I didn't feel comfortable, and it's just like, but now it's just like now I can go and, you know, I'm cool talking to people, but yeah, just like to kind of start right off the bat, it's just like that little intimidation factor, I guess, or
No, yeah, you know, like you start running these scenarios in your head where you're like, this is not
glad I'm not the only one that does that.
This is not gonna go right. Like,
yeah.
what if they get so thrown off by my weird, like my awkwardness, that they just like sit there and just turn away from me? Like,
Yeah.
how, you know, and you run all these weird scenarios.
Yeah.
You know? And then you start getting nervous, and you're like, shit. So you're. Oh, no worries, man.
I'm like, why is he dancing over here?
Yeah. So we're gonna pause it.
Yeah, no worries.
Sorry,
Dude, no worries, man.
I was holding it forever. Like.
All right, we're back.
Hey.
Quick restroom break. That's what editing's for.
Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, man. So my rats are a little funky. They're little funny little girls.
Yeah, they're crazy. Yeah.
One of them is like super like she'll go to you, and one of them's kind of like jittery.
So the one that went to me was Maple or Pancake?
That was Maple. So
Maple.
she's the shy one. I'm not sure where she went to you. She was
That's
probably
crazy.
like hungry
Probably
or
like-
something. Yeah, that's weird.
It's like that. Like your finger
She's
looks
usually
good.
pretty jittery. And then Pancake is like the quick one. She can climb everything. She's cool. And Maple's a klutz. She's always eating shit. Like she always falls from places.
Oh really?
And like she'll go and like instead of reaching over to drink water and standing like right underneath the little, you know, whatever plateau or thing we put there so she can drink her water, she'll like go from like a really further place and like stretch and then drink water. And it's like, what are you doing? You know you're gonna eat shit. And she always falls because her back feet slide down or something.
That is too funny.
But damn it, she's so stupid, man.
That sounds like my dogs at home.
They always do dumb shit.
They always do dumb shit, man. Like literally, like oh my god. You gotta check on it.
That's funny. So weird. And like, why would you try it like that? Like, why? Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh, if you would get those glasses.
Oh yeah.
You said like you're cool. Like
I think I'm
this is
fine.
something that opens, you know, made you a little more open to like being a little more social.
And it's a pretty decent conversation starter because like right away when you know the only thing that I don't like when I mention it to people or when I mention it to people that like hey I'm colorblind or whatever they're like oh so what color's this so what color's that and like
They start testing.
yeah dude
Yeah.
it's like I'm kind of like yeah okay you know I don't know how many times like it's happened to me
Dude,
but like
probably.
it's like after a while it gets fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Like just take my word for it
Yeah,
dude.
the
I'm
whole
like,
night. The whole night.
yeah.
Every time.
You know, and especially too, it's like since like I was doing like these pop up events at like breweries,
Mhm.
you know, we're all drinking at certain points. You know, so it's
yeah.
like you're trying to sell art and you're drinking, and you know somebody asks you that question, and then like you get this drunk person that's like, oh, what about this? Or
Being
oh,
belligerent.
Yeah, dude. Like, okay, you need to get the fuck out of my booth now.
Yeah, dude.
No, but I mean, it's a good conversation starter. It kind of breaks the ice type thing, but yeah, it can be annoying.
Yeah, like we've had like an hour conversation of just.
Has it been?
No.
Am I talking that much? Fuck.
No.
Should I stop?
I'm the one. I'm the one like asking you all kinds of color questions. I'm sure you've heard thousands of times, man.
Oh no, I wasn't referring it towards you, man.
Oh,
Like,
I know. I'm just.
It's just like it's because like that, yeah. Like you get these belligerent people, and I'm probably one of them sometimes. So don't get me wrong. But I'm not asking myself these questions.
What do you like to drink?
I'm an IPA guy.
IPA?
Yeah,
Oh,
I love IPAs. Don't tell me why. 'Cause I have no clue. But there's just something about the bitter hoppiness taste of an IPA that like it always draws me in, and that's like my go-to. If it's not an IPA, vodka's next.
Vodka. Okay.
Yeah, and then I probably love whiskey just like anybody else after that point. But for the most part, because these are like a little bit incognito, I like those the Mike Hard lemonades or those
okay.
Smash. I think they're Smirnoff ones or whatever.
Yeah,
They're both like
yeah,
8%
yeah.
alcohol, so either way, I'm cool with it. But I just throw them into like my big gulp, and it's like I'm drinking a soda.
Yeah, I thought you were
You
drinking
know?
a soda.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like
I thought you were drinking
my
a soda.
incognito drink.
Yeah. Yeah, you fooled me.
So if you guys take lessons from this, you know, hey,
hell
you guys
yeah.
could you learn how to disguise your
shit.
drinks, man. You can throw Jack
Dude,
and Coke
I
if you
wouldn't have
want.
guessed as
Oh, really?
It looks like a fucking
It's like if it was like the cherry 7-Up
yeah,
or cherry something, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I already know when I see them on the stories.
When I have my 7-Up cup.
That-
Yeah, because if it,
that pisteando stuff.
yeah, dude, it's like, oh man, it's like, well, it's because sometimes too, like I'll throw like the Jaeger and Red Bulls in them, or
Oh,
Jaeger
yeah.
and Monster, so it gives it like that, like it gives it like a weird color, but I mean like it probably
As long
comes
as
off
it's in
like
the
with
big
soda,
gulp, yeah, it's soda-ish,
soda,
yeah.
you know, so it's like I'm cool, but yeah, so if you ever see me with that. Possibility 9 times out of 10 it's an alcohol drink. Damn, I shouldn't be giving that away if I'm doing events, right? Like look at this guy.
Right? They're gonna be like, oh, he's drinking.
Yeah.
I know. Next time I see you with the cup like that, I'll be like, oh, that's what's up. You started the party early.
I started early.
Yeah.
It's because like sometimes too, it's like when you go to these, you go to shows or whatever, and it's like some of them that you go to, you can't drink, or they don't serve alcohol, or they don't let the vendors drink.
Drink.
So it's like you gotta improvise, man. It's like so I take in my big gulp, and it's gotten me through the times. because some of these
real.
shows can be brutal, man. It's like they're dealing with some people.
I
It's
was
just
about
like
to ask you that. Like, how is it dealing with people that are a little more, what is it, abbreviated?
opinionated.
Nah, like they're a little more drunk. Like, they got a
Or,
little more
like, on
drinks
the-
in their system. And like,
I think other than the colorblind questions, I haven't had any issues with anybody.
oh, so everybody's very nice.
It's been pretty, I think it just gets to the extent like they see that you're kind of like
like working.
yeah, or I try to make myself like if I'm busy just to kind of like avoid the conversation.
Yeah.
And it's like if I see you stumbling over to my booth, it's like, oh shit, let me find something real quick to do. Oh, my shoelace is untied. Let me tie it real quick for like an hour.
Ah, that's your trick.
I used
That
it a
is
couple
your trick.
times.
Every time I come over, his shoes untied. I don't know. He's got some magical shoes.
It's like I'm just like sitting down too. It's not like I'm walking anywhere either. You know, it's like how the hell do they keep getting
yeah,
untied?
you can't really get away from people like that. You have to make sure
No.
that people get away from you.
Yeah, so it's like I mean, sometimes you do see those people, and you do want to avoid them, but then sometimes you don't because I know. Well, actually, I don't know, but this had actually happened to me where I had this. It had like a big skull. I should have brought the actual print because that was probably one of my other favorites that I have. It's basically it has a skull and then like two females on each corner and some roses on it. And the person that got it for me, I probably shouldn't say this because she's probably gonna end up watching this after.
Yeah, don't.
So I
don't-
hope you're not watching it. But
don't
she
wanna
was
get in trouble.
when she had bought it for me, she was already like tipsy. So it's like to me it's like, would you have bought that sober? Because you weren't looking at my booth the whole time that you were there. You were just really into your drinks. Then as you started drinking more, you started going to other people's booths and all that stuff. And next thing I know, you're buying like this piece for me. And then to top it off, you forgot it. You literally walked out the place without it. So I had to go chase her down. And I had to go chase this person down. And just so I can make sure that they got it, and so it's
Okay.
like
So it makes it skeptical that it was a normal purchase and not a purchase under the influence.
I now that I see the person post some things every now and then that they have it hung up, and on the walls, like when they're posting it on the stories, I see it every now and then on their stories.
Oh, okay. So they do like it.
So they do like it. So
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but like that's the kind of thing that I think that I have to worry about is when people are buying my stuff when they're drinking. Is like, did you really like it, or did you just you bought it because you were drunk? You bought it on impulse, and if you bought it, you're drunk and you like it, I'm all for it, cool. But if you just bought it on impulse and you're not even gonna hang it, display it, or anything like that, let me know. I'll give you your money back, and just give it back to me. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But
It's hard to differentiate. that.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure, like anything that I do, it's going to somebody that's gonna appreciate it, and like have it on display. Because if it's not gonna be on display, then why bother,
Yeah. Don't take it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like somebody else. There may be somebody out there that does like it.
Yeah, and we'll hang it with their collection. And
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
So it's kind of like one of those, It's just like I'm grateful sometimes, and then I always have to like think it's like, well, are you buying it because you really like it, or just because you're drunk and you're trying to make yourself look good in front of the person you're with?
Oh shit! I'm sure that happens.
Because that's happened to me.
It's like I'm cool. I got money. I'll buy
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I'm not gonna. Don't get me wrong. You want to waste your money on my art, by all means.
Yeah.
But don't do it for like nothing stupid like that. It's
Yeah.
like you don't gotta impress anybody, and I'd rather just keep the artwork, and if you're not gonna hang it up, just give it back, and I'll refund you back your money, and
And that's it.
that's
cool.
it. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you don't want somebody to have your art and then end up like
Not liking it, or
breaking
just
it.
like collecting dust, or they break it on purpose and
Break it on
ends up
purpose.
throwing it away or anything
something
like that.
happens and it's like it's not meaningful to somebody.
Yeah, and it's just like, and then like I like to buy art, so it's like if you were ever to go into my room, it's like literally filled with different artists. I have like probably like about 20 plus different artists that are hanging on my wall that I've met as a vendor or people that done shows with me. Um, Shows that I've actually hosted. So I know I'm kind of bad at this though too because it's just like I have some that are kind of like still waiting on me to get a frame for so I can hang. But for the most part, like everybody that I purchase art from, I hang on my wall. So it's like not only do I like the art, I create it or whatever like that. I'm a big supporter for art. So it's like anything related, I'm literally all for it. If I have the means or the money for it, you best believe that I'm actually buying something. You know, it's just like every show that I go to, whether it's like a sticker or something, I can't help it. There's always something that draws my eye, and you know, it's just like it's not that I'm doing it like, cause like I mean, sometimes people they've asked me if I just buy it out of pity.
What?
It's because sometimes like you see people that don't get any any
someone
they don't
asked
make,
you if you did that out of pity?
Yeah. It's because
Was it another artist?
It was another artist.
Oh,
and some of them I actually talked to pretty good. But they had asked me because they always see me buying people's art. You know, it's like, no, it's not out of pity. It's like I literally like the piece and it's going to actually be up on my wall. And it's just like, I thought it was kind of funny that they asked me that. It's just like, it was Street Cider. I bought this piece from Street Cider. Yeah, dude, like I bought a piece from him back like in, I forgot when I first met him, but the first day that I met him at the show, he actually did one of my events at St. Moth Brewery, and I bought a shirt and a piece from him. But as I was promoting him, there was always this piece that like it like always caught my eye. Like every time I promoted him, like I always like I took a screenshot of that picture and I made sure it was in the promotional piece that I would post. And so I didn't see it the day that he was there, and so like I like, hey, there was this piece that I had saw, like, do you still have it? And like, oh yeah, you know. So he gave it to me that day, so I got it off him, but asked me if I hung it. This was probably a couple months back. I literally just posted like probably like a week ago. So I finally made it onto my wall.
Oh shit! You're just behind on all the ones
I'm
you got.
like really behind because there's like stuff from like Dottie that I still have that I need to hang. It's just trying to get the frames for it, and it's like every time I go to buy art supplies, that's the last thing that's on my mind is a frame. And then when I leave, I'm home like, shit, I was just over there. I should have bought a frame. They were 70% off. You know, fucking Michaels. Whenever they have their sales, I always try to make it out there.
Dude,
and get them.
You made the 70% off recently? They had one recently.
No,
I think they have one like Labor Day or something.
I think they actually have one going on right now. I got an email, I think, yesterday. It's a 2-day sale.
Oh, okay.
So I hope and that's funny because we were just at Michael's a little while ago. And we went to the Dollar Tree and I was getting frames from there, but I didn't end up getting them. I put them back. So just like, yeah.
Yeah,
so
I think
I'm
that's
really,
where
really
I'm
bad
the
with it, man.
The most indecisive I am is with frames.
I'm like really picky when it comes to them because I don't want to get just any frame, especially if it's gonna go on my wall. But it's funny is like I get like a simple one from the Dollar Tree and put like my artwork in it and sell it to somebody.
You know what? What I think that makes it more difficult, man, is that you don't have the piece with you.
That's probably another thing too.
You don't want to risk purchasing something, getting it to your piece, and then it's like, I thought it would have looked better in my, you know?
Yeah.
That's why, like, when me and my wife go get stuff for her prints that she's purchased from artists,
you take your guys' stuff with it?
She takes the prints.
That's
she's
smart.
Like, fuck it, we're gonna test them out here because I don't want to buy it and then it doesn't fit. One, it doesn't fit my print or whatever for some fucking reason, or it just doesn't look right.
Right.
And it's just like, you don't want to have to go with the whole returning. I'm sure they'll let you return it.
Yeah, I'm sure, but yeah, why go through that hassle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes actually perfect sense.
So like get like a little stack and then you can buy. Yeah, today I'm gonna buy. You go in. You have to. You go in with that mindset where hey, I'm bringing these prints because I'm gonna buy.
That's actually smart. I'm gonna probably try to do that the next time I go if I remember.
Yeah, like that's the way she did it because it was so much guesswork trying to figure shit out, you know?
Yeah, and then he showed me like a gold frame, right? Like it was like the border was gold. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm okay.
I don't know.
It's not like.
But what if it would have looked cool? You would have tried it.
It probably would have, but I think it was just to me. It's like that's not kind of like my style, I guess. So like it doesn't suit something that I would like I don't know. Maybe somebody else would like it, but like me on the other hand, I'm like, no,
Yeah,
it's not me.
It's not your stilo.
Yeah, there you go. But it's like, sometimes you gotta. I think that's another thing that like I worry about is when I'm doing art. It's like, sometimes I just do it for me, or I do it because I want to, or that's what I'm feeling at the moment. And like I try not to, like, okay, like for example, when Nipsey Hussle passed away, people were doing his artwork. Not to knock anybody that did it, because I've seen a lot of amazing pieces. But I didn't want to create something because everybody else is doing it, So and I think that's kind of like like when I'm creating my art, it's just like I don't want to be like one of those people that are jumping on a bandwagon just because it's like it's hot right now at the moment. I'm gonna create something that I like, and if you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. But don't get me wrong, I've done it before just because, like Iron Man for example, I don't know how many, I did like a couple pieces of him when he came out, and like the
but it wasn't.
thing.
But it wasn't because it was out. It was because you were feeling the shit that was coming out. Like,
yeah,
because
I'm like another like a Marvel fan.
Oh, people are doing it, cool. But when you're doing it because I'm one of those people that likes this shit.
Yeah,
And it's like
I'm like a huge Marvel fan. Like
yeah,
my first tattoo
so
I got
it's not the same thing.
was Marvel related.
Yeah.
I got Sabretooth tattooed on my chest at 13. Mom, if you're listening, sorry. But yeah, so like I've been a huge Marvel fan, and like I collect the comic books and all that, but it's just like I painted it. I don't even remember what the whole reasoning behind it. I think maybe my nephew had something to do with it. He actually had something to do with me painting this It one right here. He actually sent me a picture of It, and so like, Theo, I want you to print this or paint this for me, and I ended up painting it, but I ended up like taking his like, well, do you want it or you want me to take it to my shows to sell? Take it to your show to sell, He's like my biggest supporter right now. He's only 6, It's kind of like funny.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah,
no,
right?
And then he's probably like really like interested in it too.
I
right?
would hope so, because like everything that I do, he's always right there looking at it, or he critiques me a lot. Little fuck, he's like a hard critique, man. This guy's like, I can't get away with nothing with him. He's like, you would think he's a professional over here, but
Yeah.
it's so like he did like I did a Jason one, and the first one I did, he like took it. So it's like, damn it, I couldn't even, I had to get a frame and put it in it, and like I didn't even get a chance to sell it yet, and it's like, you're already taking my art. So I had to go ahead and make another print from it, So like, I mean, he kind of gives me like those little inspirations every now and then to like create certain things, and and like I was telling Street earlier, it's like that he's only 6, he's my biggest supporter, and I thought that's kind of funny. That I have because he always steals my stickers. Any stickers I get, it's like if I don't, dude, like if I don't put them on like on my stuff right away, next thing I know, they're all over his drawers or somewhere.
That's so cool. He's probably like, hell yeah, he's got new stickers.
He's got new stickers, but if I have doubles, I'm always letting him know, so that way.
That's cool. He collects stickers and stuff.
Them. Yeah, so he's gotten actually. He likes going to our shows, because he always comes up on different stickers, and he's bought some. Like with his own money, he bought some off of a friend of mine's, Bappy's Creations.
Mm-hmm.
So she even gave him some stickers too. It was pretty cool of her. So
how cool.
If you're listening, Bappy, thank you for that.
Shout out.
Yeah, and but he also actually bought off her. So like he bought a couple things from her already, like buttons and stickers.
Dude, that's so cool. That's like a really cool, like thing to get kids into young,
Yeah.
Because when you really think about it, man, I wish I had the ability to buy more art stuff when I was younger.
Oh, heck yeah.
You would buy popular stuff like Pokemon or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if there was an artist creating like their own characters and like stuff like that, and I saw it, I think that's what got me into all this stuff.
Oh, really?
I was so excited to see unique items, unique artwork that you can have, that not everybody has.
Right.
Like if someone came and looked at it, they'd be like you remember back in the day when people would put like copies of fucking Dragon Ball Z outside their folder?
Oh yeah.
And then you'd be like, oh shit, where'd you get that picture? Like,
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they got a really cool fucking anime picture.
I'm like
on their
guilty
folder.
because I used to do that.
But not everybody had it because nobody had the internet, you know? But now it's like this. Like you have these prints.
Everybody has
not
it.
everybody's got like these prints, like these prints of artwork that's specific to a certain artist.
Yeah.
So now it's like That's the shit that's I don't know. That's the shit I think is cool.
I think that's like I just recently starting prints. Like I was again like I always have these conversations with Street because like we're usually in the same car when we go to like events or like stuff like that, and like I was telling them earlier is that like I give these artists advice on certain things and like but I never follow my own advice. It's like so I just recently started doing prints, and like there's certain ones that I'll probably just do like a limited because I don't want to like kind of like
Oversaturate. Like,
yeah and I again not to knock anybody's hustle or anything like that because what you guys do is like that's your thing and I just didn't want to be in that category I guess
you didn't want to follow that formula.
or yeah exactly so I wanted to keep like some certain amount and maybe like certain amount of copies of certain ones and
yeah, that's what makes your portfolio, your overall body of work so unique.
yeah
you decide whether you want it, not because people are buying it.
Yeah.
Like you decide, no, I'm only gonna make 100. If you happen to get the 100, like that's cool that you got the 100
and that's it.
If not, you gotta wait for the next thing. Like I'm not a manufacturer of things. I'm not gonna just because you want to buy it remanufacture this. Prints you can
Oh yeah
maybe
definitely
you can because they're prints, but originals it's like or a limited set. I think that's what makes limited prints so cool.
yeah
Like if you don't have that print, that's it.
Yeah. And it's like there's a few that I already want to like this one for example, the octopus one, like that was probably like my favorite that I've done to date. And like I still beat myself up about it that I really really lowballed it when I sold it. Like I like sold it for like really really cheap.
Damn.
And so the person that bought it, thank you, but at the same time too I hate you. No, just kidding. You came up like
for
but
sure.
that's probably like my favorite piece that I've done up to date. And it's just like I still was like damn dude, like why did I sell it for that much? And it's like I regret it. It's just like but you live you learn, and hopefully I don't make that same mistake going into the future with any other pieces that I do. But I mean it happens I guess.
No, yeah, that definitely happens. I know for sure I regretted some stuff, but at the same time, I like to help me with that. I always kind of like tell myself like, all right, Edwin, like I know that piece was cool, but you can make something like that's gonna feel better.
Oh really?
Like so I'm like, okay, cool. Like maybe this is the little push I need. Me missing it, maybe it's a little push to like go back to maybe trying to remake it or remake it in different, try to switch it up. Like go in there thinking I'm gonna remix this painting that I adore, that I like, that I feel really comfortable with. Now I'm gonna remix it and see what comes up, and start to test with that idea. And if that still continues, then you really like that. That's the piece, That's the piece you like.
That I get what you're saying, but to me it's like I can't do that.
You can't
can't
remake the same piece? Or
No.
obviously you don't want to remake the same thing. Like that's not what you want. But you want to keep like moving with different ideas.
Yeah, it's just like because I mean, like, to me it's like when somebody already bought a piece, if it's not a print or if it's not a commission piece, to me personally it's like I wouldn't want to recreate that piece. Once I already sold it.
Okay.
If it's like a commission, definitely I wouldn't even make prints out of it. But if it's just like I sold a piece to like some random person on the street or at one of the events, yeah, I'll do a couple prints. But if I really like it, I'm gonna make it like a limited edition. But I'm not gonna go back and recreate that painting.
Yeah.
It's just like
there's no point.
Yeah, then that's just me. I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't know how to describe it or if I'm even making sense. I'm just rambling on.
No.
But
it makes sense, man. That's where like you feel comfortable. Like that's how you want your
kind of more
work.
like exclusive, I guess, in a sense.
That's how you want your work. Like I always I probably mentioned it to you last time. Like I'm always trying to think of my work as a whole, like all my work.
Right.
Not the commissions. The commissions I think I exclude because they are commissions.
Right.
It's something that somebody wants specifically to them. But when it's like my artwork, like I try to match it to shit that I like,
Right.
you know, because it's something I like. The bad thing is it doesn't sell. Like it doesn't sell because
It's only
but at
something
the
that
same-
you like.
Yeah, it's always something I like, but at the same time, I'm always like in my head like that right person's gonna come that's gonna appreciate it so fucking much, and that price tag's not gonna bother.
It's not gonna bother. Yeah.
You know,
No,
it's not
and
gonna bother. them.
I say that all the time too. It's like, because yeah, your art's not for everybody. You
Yeah,
know, and
yeah.
sometimes, like I say, I create stuff for me,
Yeah.
and you know, if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, I'm cool with that. You know,
Yeah.
it's like people like, well, like why you didn't sell anything? It's because it's not all the time that I make it for people. It's like usually 9 times out of 10, if I'm doing something, it's more something that I like or something that I would hang personally on my walls. And if it sells and somebody likes it, cool. If they don't, cool. You know, I'm fine with that. But like, yeah, just exactly like you said, it's always going to be that one person that's going to want it. And yeah, that price tag that's on it, it's not going to make a difference. You know.
Because I know this fucking sounds cheesy. Every time I say it, I already feel like it's cheesy. But I do feel like there's so much emotion that goes into creating a painting or creating anything.
Right.
And not so much where it's like, oh, you're sad, you're happy. Not those emotions.
Yeah.
But just the thoughts that go into your head at the time you're creating this. Like, you have to be in a certain space to create, you know, to
Yeah.
create something, or, you know, you have all these things, and regardless whether people believe it or not, it shows on there.
Yep.
It shows in
The
there.
emotion that comes through it and all that, yeah.
It definitely does. Like, another artist might be able to see it, but not everybody can see it. And the people who can see it are the ones who are the ones that are going to be willing to buy that thing.
Yep.
You know, because for some reason, that person came in and they felt a little of that emotion that you threw in, that you fucking mixed in there.
Yep.
Somehow, I don't know, they saw something that caused them to feel something.
Or they
Whether
related in
it's-
some type
yeah.
of way to it, yeah.
Or something about this painting or this piece is going to bring something to their life.
Right.
It's going to make them feel happy. It's going to make them feel fulfilled. It's going to make them feel, oh, like, this is cool. Like, I want to show other people, like, this. Or I want to gift this to somebody, you know, because I know they'll like this. And, like, this is probably the best thing that, you know, that painting made you think of that person.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's like when it's gifts. Like, oh, that paint. Oh, my friend would love this because blah, 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 whatever.
That
you know,
actually
but like,
happened to me recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like this, like, oh, it was actually a fluid art one like that, and then I threw a Bob Marley on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually made it for a specific event that we were having actually at St. Moth, and I think that's the day that I met Street Sider, and it was just like, it was a reggae night. We had all these reggae bands that were going out to
dope.
perform. So I'm like, oh, cool, there's going to be somebody there that likes reggae, so let me do this this Bob Marley theme one. So I did it with I don't know, is it the Jamaican flag or like the Rasta colors or
Yeah.
whatever. So I did that as a fluid art, and then I drew I sketched out the Bob Marley on it, and but I don't know if I would have sold it or not, because since I was hosting the event, I was just basically everywhere else but at my spot where my paintings were. So I didn't sell it that day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took it out to the first Friday in Temecula. It's like I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. I know I mentioned it earlier, but not like on during your podcast.
Uh-huh.
Is that like I tend to travel just to pretty much any pop-ups that they have that are not local, or basically that.
Anywhere where you'll be able to put up your art.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I could care less. I'd be in an alley because I did something in an alley in Venice, so it was a cool turnout.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, definitely something like along those lines. And I took it to the Temecula one on the first Friday. It didn't sell, and then the next time I went to Temecula, the following first Friday, I sold it to this lady. She had seen it. We were talking for a little bit, and I think she was seeing the show that was going on there. And during the intermission, she came back and bought it off me because she's like, I know my godson's gonna like it. You know, he's really heavy into reggae. He's a big Bob Marley fan. I was thinking that she was buying it for her the way that she was talking in the beginning. I'm like, holy shit, she's trying to relive her like hippie days or something, dude. Like Woodstock all over again or something. But nah, and then she started telling me about her godson after, and I was like, oh, you know, so it's like, that's cool, you know, so I get that when people are buying it for gifts, that they know that someone's going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what I want, you know, whether
Yeah,
it's
you
for
want
that person
something
or somebody's going to
appreciate
enjoy.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I also always think, like, I don't know, man, I think I tell myself all this stuff, like, because I don't really sell a lot of stuff, you know, so I always kind of tell myself, like, it's cool, like, the right people will come. And, you know, I mean, I haven't been proven that, but I think eventually it will. I don't think this way of thinking, like, I haven't seen a lot of artists, like, make it a certain way, but I don't know, I guess this is, like, a belief I have, like,
Right.
there's no way I can be creating stuff, and not one fucking person in the entire world is gonna like it.
Oh,
There's no way
definitely
one
not.
person's not gonna be willing to pay for this. People pay for dumb shit.
Oh,
People
yeah.
pay for the dumbest shit. There's no way this won't feel right to someone.
Oh, no,
somebody,
definitely.
you know? So
I
it's like,
completely agree. It's like, as I look at, like, you know, I gotta admit that, like, when I first came in and I seen your artwork, I'm like, holy shit, dude, like, I'm fucking intimidated by his work. Because, like, I mean, I don't think I'm that bad, but I don't think that I'm that good. You know, it's like, I'm kind of, like, neutral, I guess, in the whole thing. But, like, when I start seeing other people's work and the stuff that they can do, it's like, shit, man, like, you know, I want to reach that level, you know, but, like, it's not like me trying to be on your level. I want to be at your level, but at my level, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I want to be able to do what you can do, but, like, at my level, you know, like.
So you feel like, oh, I want to push myself to get this, like, comfortable.
Yeah.
It's like a comfortability, because, like, you feel like, oh, this person's comfortable to create something like this, but it's like, I want to feel comfortable creating something like this in my style, in my, you know,
not so much. I just think, like, more like kind of when it comes to, like, the detail wise and stuff like that. Like, I'm still like a novice. You know, I always say that I am, but, like, when I can reach, like, levels that, like, where I've seen your work, where, like, the blendings that you do with the oils and stuff like that, or just, like, the picture in general, dude, like, you have some amazing stuff. So that's what I'm saying is, like,
thank you, man.
if somebody doesn't pick it up, it's just the right person hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, if I can afford it, I definitely would grab something of yours. You know, like that one right there. I'm not gonna say which one it is, or you know, but the one that you have right there is definitely something that I would like. I would love, and it would have it on my wall, like, you know, and it would be something that I would, like, pass down to somebody when I were to pass away.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, you have a couple pieces that are like that.
Oh,
But, like,
thank you, man.
you know,
Thank you.
and it's just, that's what I'm saying. It's like the right person just hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But, like, when I'm saying, like, to reach somebody's level, it's like, you know, not that they're, like, a pro or they're a master at their craft or anything like that. It's just, like, you want to reach a certain level, kind of like how you were saying it was comfortable, but, like, I think in my sense, it's more just that I want to be able to probably do what you can do, but then at the same time, to kind of reach my own goal in doing it. Like, so I don't think it's more like on the comfortable side, but it's more just like
Technique.
There you go. I'm like,
I
I'm
want to
like a
know
loss
those
for
techniques
words.
to apply it to my art.
There you go. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like, oh, I want to learn those techniques, and then I can apply it to my art, and then obviously your ideas, your concepts, you know, your composition. Yeah, I definitely see that, because I do that so much to other artists. Oh, I don't know yet, man. It's not even done. Everybody asked me that about the David too.
Oh, really?
Like, oh, how much? And I was like, I'm not even done, man. Like, I'm not even done. Like, you haven't seen it, huh? The David?
No.
Well,
Every time you say David, the David one, I'm looking this way, it's like,
well, I promised you
where?
a print, man. There you go.
Oh, that's dope, dude.
David to David.
There you go, man.
Use me as a reference.
That's what I kept saying. Oh, this is a self-portrait.
Yeah, there you go.
Or a self still life or something.
We get in the mirror.
See, like the just like as I'm looking at this right here, just like I'm already kind of like I'm like blown away on it. It's like just the detail that you have in it. You know what I mean? It's just like
Thank you, man. You should check out the I'm gonna have that one in Hollywood on the 12th.
Okay.
You should stop by, man. It's gonna be like a little show.
Is it during the day or?
I believe it's like during the day, like
Because we actually have our event, the Unity Infusion one, that we're doing in Colton. I'm like, damn, I can't even think of the city. What a host am I, right? But right there in Colton, it's basically the same day, and ours is in the evening from like 6 to midnight. So if it's like during the day, and I can,
yeah, you might be
like,
able to make
swing by.
it before. But yeah, I remember you invited me to that, and I told you, oh, I have a show on the 12th. Yeah, because I would have loved to go to the event you guys are hosting. Yeah, I saw you were helping host that.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's gonna turn into a good event because it's like the way it's turning out with all the art vendors that we're getting, and then the performance just on the performance side itself. You know, it's like it should be a good event. I'm like, I'm okay. Yeah. So we're actually still trying to promote the event. But it should be a good turnout. But yeah, if yours is like an early one, just shoot me the times or whatever like that. If I can make it, I'll make it.
Yeah,
I
and
literally
if you
try.
don't, it's open for the 2 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 2 months.
Oh, so it's like at a gallery or something, or?
So yeah, it's at a gallery. So it's gonna be like 2 months. So you can whenever they're open, stop in, check it out before the show.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
like if you don't make it that the opening night, whatever, like you can probably go.
You know, and that's like something that I've been trying to do more. Is like get out there to like the galleries or like people that are like doing stuff like that, or like the open sketch nights and stuff like that. I actually just recently did one. I fucking loved it, dude. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Ink and Drink?
No, I didn't do the Ink and Drink.
Dude, that was tight, dude.
Is it?
Yeah,
who's hosting it? Where's that one at?
Long Beach.
In Long Beach?
Long Beach.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I seen that one. No, the one I did, it was actually in downtown at Casey's Pub, Irish Pub. And I forget who hosts it. I follow them, I think, like Gallery Girls or something like that.
Yeah, I think I've seen
And they did like a... Yeah, because that's where I had originally found them up, on the meetup.
Yeah.
And I ended up following them, and then I get all these emails now, like on a daily basis, like, fuck, okay, what did I do? But they did like a Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. That's the only reason why I went, is because like they did that theme. The models that they were dressed up as Harley. Yeah. So I was like, holy shit, that's cool. And then so it's like my first time sketching live. And you got to do some cool I got to do some cool characters. Yeah, dude. Like, so that was like, I was pretty stoked about it, dude. It was like, it was in downtown. Casey's a pretty cool pub. Good beer.
So it was a cool environment. Like,
yeah, it was cool.
Was it well lit, or was that?
It was kind of like a little bit on the dim side, but like where the models were at, they had good lighting. But I'm self-taught, so it's like I've never gone through school or anything like that. So it's like, so when I was actually sketching, I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, like I'm like here, like I'm looking at some of these other people that are just like sketching them. They're using color and like, you know, like doing it all quick, and like I'm right here, I only have like 2 lines, you know. I was like, but it was just like, yeah, everybody does their own thing, and I kind of liked some of my stuff the way it came out, but all of it was like headless and no hands or no feet.
You would avoid certain areas. You're like,
yeah,
this person's not gonna have a head. I'm not gonna draw that angle.
Definitely not. You know, and like one of the models, she kind of came around passing out her cards after, and so it's like I didn't want to show her my work, but I was like, hey, you know, just I'll post it later, but I'll tag you in it, and but just an FYI. Don't ask, but you're not gonna have a head in it. You know, like, oh, don't worry about it. I do the same thing. I'm like, glad I'm not the only one, because it's like, apparently a lot of people do that stuff. Yeah. Like, you know, it's just like
every time I do any of that stuff, I always avoid drawing the penis. Like, I don't draw the penis. I draw everything else, and then when it comes to the penis, I'm like, I just say it's unfinished.
He's like over here, like talking about like the penis, but I'm like over here, like with the hands and shit. Like she doesn't have a head, you know.
I'm just saying. Like,
no, I get it, man. That's
the one thing I'm always like, yeah, I don't really want to draw a penis. I mean, I could. I'm sure I can draw a pretty realistic penis.
Like, how do we get talking to penis? Let's change the subject. No.
Right? But yeah, dude. Honestly, I recommend you take one of those classes at like community college. I know the one in Rio Hondo did one every fucking class.
Oh really?
They had a person come in.
shit.
You know, and it's
See,
like,
there I go using the wrong color.
yeah,
Let me put that one down.
yeah, like why does this?
Yeah, I was like, wait, that doesn't look what... I don't even know what I'm doing with that. I think I'm just like coloring now at this point.
It's cool. You know, I don't think it looks bad.
But at Rio Hondo, you saying? Yeah, I've been wanting to do something like that.
It's just
like,
a commitment.
and that's kind of like where, like, I think reason why I haven't done it to date is just like, because like literally as soon as I wake up, if I'm not doing something like paint wise, I'm doing something for my event. So it's just like if I'm like fucking on Instagram probably like almost 24 hours throughout the day. Literally, dude, it's like I fucking live on this shit right now, but it's just like me getting stuff done or messaging people or looking for vendors to like do my events or looking for venues or getting into the group chats that are fucking intense sometimes.
I actually I was actually kind of doing the same thing, obviously not at the level you're doing it, man, but I was like trying to, so I remember talking to you like when you were here, where I'm trying to do a group show, like a gala group show for the podcast guest. So just the podcast guest, you know, they submit a piece or two if they want, and it would just be a group show of nothing but the podcast guest as a way to kind of introduce the podcast,
right?
But also get like the artists to kind of come together, you know, kind of like, hey, hang out, kick it, and stuff like that. And I got a gallery on board.
Okay.
And it's actually a podcast guest who's been on here, and he has a like connects with the gallery, and I was able to like, I was trying to do it before the end of the year in December, but I know that's fucking close, like December 14th. Like I don't know
if you really want it, you can make it
happen,
man.
I mean, I'm sure I can make it happen, but what I'm worried about is the artist.
Okay.
Where are the artists gonna have enough time to either create something or are they even gonna have a piece?
Is it like where you're trying to make them have like a specific piece, whatever they want?
Whatever piece they want. But sometimes artists are already in like galleries and stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm gonna send out a message letting everybody know, hey, what's your feedback? If everybody's cool and has a piece to submit by the 14th, I can make it happen. But if not, you know, we can push it off a couple months.
Right.
And then this way people know and they're a little more. Like they have it in their schedule, you know? So I'm going to send that out and see how it is. Hopefully I can get it going. But yeah, it's already up to like 30 artists.
Oh, that's dope, dude.
Yeah, it's just if a small percentage of people can submit, that'd be great, you know?
And that's kind of like like how you're saying like that is like kind of like what we're trying to do or I'm trying to do and bring people back on, like whether they want to be under the Art Haus banner or not. Because Art Haus is basically... the name that I use for the events that I do, or host. But I noticed that I've been finding myself using Art Haus a lot more lately as when I'm introducing myself as my identifier. Yeah, exactly. As like my abstract world is like, who? Like never heard of you guys. It was like, oh yeah, that's my other account. But like I've been introducing myself more as Art Haus and that's kind of the same concept that we're trying to do. What I'm envisioning on trying to do is, you know, like bring like that, like the artists together, or, you know, bring those artists that are those introverts like out of their shells and kind of get them used to being in like a gallery type setting or just more involved and stuff like that, you know, and just make it all about the art, you know, coming together and stuff like that. Because, you know, like I know when I first started, there was like a lot of like, you know, I'm always one that's quiet and like I like to observe my surroundings first, and I think that's just something like on the military side that's always like been stuck in my head. You know, it's like if I'm just like observing and I'm not saying anything, it's not just that because I'm being an introvert or you know, or I'm just like quiet or I'm just like stuck up or I'm an asshole and just don't want to talk to nobody. It's just me trying to observe my surroundings, see what I can get from it, see how the vibe's going and stuff like that, and being cautious, I guess. Yeah. You know, I kind of want to just see my surroundings, see what I'm getting into and stuff like that, and I actually learned it the hard way, where I kind of like opened up to some people and like it just fucking turned to shit.
Oh really?
Yeah. But at the same time too, it's kind of brought me closer to other people, you know. And it's opened my door to other people, venues, and it's gotten me to a point where I'm actually able to do things, and like, you know, people know who I am, they know what I'm about, they know I'm always in it for the artists, and then that always goes back to me just trying to support them. Where if I'm buying their art or promoting them, because like I do random shout outs here and there, or I'll like if you send me something, and I'm gonna post it. I'll post it on both of my accounts, just to like, kind of help support you. And at the end of the day, I just see it as this more that us coming together rather than trying to compete with people. It's like makes no sense,
Exactly.
Let's just compete, or not compete, but let's like just do shit together. It's like I'm open to collabing with anybody, like whether it's events, whether it's art, anything. Just like
that community.
Yeah.
That you're trying to build a community of, maybe not necessarily like-minded individuals, but you definitely have an interest.
Yeah.
Like.
I mean,
The
but it
most
does help
important
if you have those
is-
like-minded people.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
definitely helps.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm
But-
saying it because I know for sure not everybody's like on the same page
Yeah.
in a community. You
Right,
know?
right, right.
But yeah. Ideally, you want everybody to kind of
Yeah,
be the same
it's-
way, where they're trying to help. They're not
Yeah.
just trying to kind of grab from you,
Hmm.
like absorb whatever from you, and then not input back.
Right,
Like
exactly.
the reason that makes a community good is because not everybody you don't just take. Like
No,
you take
yeah.
and you give. You take and you give. You take
Exactly.
And you
I mentioned earlier that I had just worked on oils the other day, and it was my first time. I've never worked with oils or anything like that, and like I kind of asked some people like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" or "What do you think about that?" I got no feedback. Like they basically left my message, like they read it, they seen it, but I never got any reply. It's like, dude, I'm not trying to steal your style. I'm not like, I'm just like trying to get some tips, because this is my first time. You could even fucking just say like, dude, you should just check out fucking Google it, YouTube
Yeah.
it or something, which I
YouTube
eventually
this verb
did.
or whatever, or this.
Yeah,
here.
but it's like, like instead of trying to help the next person or something like that,
They're
you
very
just,
reserved.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny though is that like we're saying like that, it's like 'cause some random person, I don't know her. I never met her, but I do follow her. I don't know how we're actually following each other. I think it's just like mutual friends that we're following or something like that, or mutual artists. And she actually messaged me. It's like, hey, something about the art, and then like, oh, you should try this. So she gave me tips. And
Oh,
I was
cool.
like, I was just like really like, holy shit, like thank you. Like I was like so fucking humbled, and like I added her to my story, just like thanking her, and like hey, go give her a follow. She's fucking cool. She has dope art, and I wasn't literally just saying it just to say it. Like she really has good art, and and just the fact that she just helped another random artist, like to me that's what it should be all about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there should be no competition between us, because like
Sure.
what you're doing is not going to make me eat, and it should be like vice
It's not gonna
versa.
take food from me either.
Exactly.
You know. And
it's
that's what
like-
I think people are worried about.
Yeah.
That you're gonna take food from them.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Like,
I'm not forcing people to buy my shit. I'm not forcing people to do this stuff. You
Yep.
know? No, you're totally right, man. And I think that's the way to go about it, man.
That's kind of like the route that I'm going with when I'm hosting my events or my shows and stuff like that. It's like, oh shit, again, I use the wrong color. It's
It's
like,
cool. It's gonna happen, especially because you're in the conversation, man.
Yeah.
It's like you're so in the conversation. You're just like.
I don't even remember what I was
Yeah.
coloring at when I got this one, but I think maybe I just picked it up randomly.
Yeah,
But like, I know it happens.
yeah it's cool. Man.
But no, it's like when I do the shows. It's like I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of art curators out there and stuff like that, and I don't mind coordinating or working with anybody. But just because I started doing events doesn't mean that I'm trying to take away from your events or anything along those lines.
Dude, you've gotten that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can just imagine. I mean, isn't that the first time I've heard of an artist feeling like if an artist starts the same thing, that artist is taking from them,
Yeah.
you know? And it's not like when the first I heard it like a couple years ago from actual artists I knew,
Mhm.
where I was like, are you serious? Like that artist really has that mindset where it's like, just because you start something that's like inspired by them or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
they feel like you're taking their stuff.
Yeah, and
It's so weird, man.
that's to me it's like crazy. It's like one thing that I learned with the art community, it's a fucking small world. Everybody knows everybody. If you don't that person knows somebody that you know. It's like
Yeah.
you know, and it's like that. So everybody and people talk, you know. And so it's like when I started doing my shows, like you know, I hear you hear things, and whether things were said or not, I could care less. I really don't care. I'm not taking anything personal anymore. Like I probably should, given certain things that kind of portrayed or that transpired. But I don't care. Like like I could be the bigger person, or I could just be like fucking ignoring it, or just don't care. At that point, at the end of the day, it's like I don't care, and to me, it's just kind of like stupid. Like I'm not taking anything from anybody. I'm not taking your artists because they don't belong to you in the first place. But everyone's their own thing. If they want to try something new, why not let them? You don't like. That's why I jump from place to place, and I'm not trying to do only events in certain areas. Like I'm trying to help that artist expand and branch out and bring their art to like different cities where like it gives them more exposure. That you're gonna get one person that's gonna see your artwork, and next thing you know, like, hey, you're doing an interview with somebody, or they're inviting you to this big show, or they're asking for commission pieces, like so it's like, why would you want to just limit them to one area where you should be helping them and expanding them, like so it's just like me branching out and trying to like expand my art.
The people with that mentality, man, don't grow. Like, think about it. How can you grow when you have that mentality that if someone is associated with someone else, they're out of your life? Like, how do somebody grow? Like, you'd be avoiding everything. You'd
Literally.
be so in the fucking chisme that like you're avoiding artists just because they're semi-associated with somebody that you don't know.
Yeah, and see, that's what's like
It's like,
stupid
what?
about it. Like how it brings me back to saying that like the art world is like such a small place. Everybody knows everybody. So it's like, yeah, if you don't like this person, that person doesn't like you, but you don't want me to work with them. That's your guys. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like you're gonna run into somebody eventually down the line, whether you like it or not. And it's like, what if you can just work with that person, set things aside, and you guys fucking create something that's fucking cool. You guys have this cool ass event, brings everybody together, and it's like, why would you stop that just because you don't like the person? That's what I'm saying. Is like, I have no problem working with anybody. It's probably except for one person I probably wouldn't work with. I am gonna say that there's one person that I will not work with.
Was it because of past experience though?
And
or was it
present, current, however you want to
really?
take it.
Oh wow.
But
okay.
yeah, that one person I definitely will not work with ever again. Never speak to. Let's just put it that way.
Oh,
but
wow.
doesn't mean that I'm gonna go around and fucking talk shit about this person. Like
Yeah,
I could care less at that point.
I
like,
mean,
the
there was a
person's name wouldn't even come in
falling
my
out,
head.
and that's it.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. And
that's all that really needs to be said.
But doesn't mean that I won't work with other artists that work with that person.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
doesn't make any sense to me. It's just like, if I can help you in some type of way, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But
I was talking to my wife about how the other day I was thinking, like, growing up. God damn it, that thing's so annoying, dude. I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
But growing up, man, my dad used to always tell me, "No tengas amigos. Amigos are just gonna backstab me."
Mm-hmm.
And
I think that's norm for any Hispanic family, though.
and I'm sure that's because of experiences he's had in the past and whatever. He's had bad experiences with his own family.
Right.
That's neither here nor there. So he would always tell me that since I was young. And I always felt like that was weird, Like, I grew up watching anime, dog. Friendship was everything.
Yeah.
In anime,
Yeah, literally, right?
So I always thought, like, how is it that my dad, who's someone that, like, I look up to, who I believe has more knowledge than anybody I personally know,
Uh-huh.
And I was like, how is it that he has one view on friendship, but the rest of the fucking world, or anime or whatever, puts some kind of value in friendship? Like, what's the disconnect? Why does my dad think that way? Like, should I listen to my dad, or is my dad suffering from, effects or bad friendships that he's had?
Uh-huh.
And just because he's had bad friendships, should I just close myself off?
Right.
to friendships. Like I always kind of dealt with that because he would always kind of bring it up, like, oh, estás allá con los amigos, blah blah blah, whatever, you know. But later on, I thought about it. I was like, okay, so in his view, he's had bad experiences. He's had bad friendships. They fucked him over, whatever. So in his view, in order to avoid that in the future, I just won't have friends.
Right.
This way, that doesn't happen again. I don't get fucked over. I'm tired of getting fucked over, which is understandable, right? But the way I saw it, or the way I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, you could easily isolate yourself and you don't run into that. Or you could learn from those experiences and learn to tell certain things before they happen.
Like
Right.
flags.
Like red flags in somebody's personality. Red flags in someone's, the way they act. I know you, the more you see it, the more you'll be fucking like a greyhound or like a fucking those hound dogs to it. Like you'll smell it. Like
Yeah.
you'll smell shady people from further away. The more you're exposed to them, you know. And yeah, you'll get screwed over sometimes.
Yeah, it's bound to happen
But
eventually.
honestly, later on, you'll be a little more weary. The
Right.
more you do it, you can close yourself off,
That's how I see relationships with
or you could be like, oh, like, all right, fuck, this person, whatever, there was a falling off. Okay, now I know, like that. Now you analyze the way that person would act and be like, okay, next time someone starts acting slightly like this, I'm out.
Run for the
off
border.
bat. You know, I'm out off the bat.
Right.
So I always like thought about it like that. It's a different perspective on the same thing, where it's like just pick your friendships a little more wisely. But
Yeah.
I see it like I'm gonna be friends with people up until I see things in their personality that they're, where it's like, nah, I already know where this is gonna go, or this person's not as mature or sees things a certain way that I know are gonna cause issues in the long run, you know.
Yep.
And you don't tell them, you don't whatever, but you kind of push away. You kind of just like
Little by little,
start
do
to
your
like
thing.
not respond as much, blah blah blah, and that's it. You don't have to be rude about it. Be like, nah, you're a piece of shit, blah blah blah. But you can just be like, you know what? Like I'm busy, blah blah blah, and eventually people get the point. People
Yeah.
get the point. Hey, this person doesn't like me, or they're gonna think you're shady, or they're gonna think, you know. But I don't know, man. I always thought that was weird, that perspective, you know.
But you know, I think that's just something that's common, like in the Hispanic family though, because
Yeah,
I was taught the same thing.
the same thing.
You know, the
Pinches
same
amigos,
thing,
vale
and
madre, or
yeah,
something.
you know, like literally, yeah,
Yeah.
fucking no good or whatever.
And I was like, why? That's so weird. Because I had friends. I mean, they ended up being not the best of friends, but like they were good friends at the time, and like I learned growing up having those bad friends what to look for later on, you know.
Right.
But if I would have just closed myself off because the way my dad I would have been a lonely ass kid, you know. For real, I would have just been like, nah, I'm cool.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah, no, it does, man. It definitely does, and I don't know. It's just
It's just crazy how like growing up in a certain environment or certain type of background, how it can dictate your life if you let it, you know.
yeah,
And
especially if
you know, I'm one for it because like if I still had those beliefs, I would literally like not talk to any fucking buddy, you know. It's like I'll be leery of everybody and their mom, you know. It's just like, you know, and it's just like now it's just like, I mean, I guess as I got older and I've fucking been able to like understand life a little bit better, because a lot of the times the people that I'm hanging around with are younger than me. Not to say that I'm fucking wiser or anything along those lines, because far from it. I'm probably like the
Yeah.
stupidest guy you know. But at the same time too, it's like I think that I just had enough life lessons that
yeah, life lessons. Perfect.
that's helped me along the way, where it's like it's brought me to where I'm at now, where like I can forgive you, but doesn't mean that I'm forget. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna talk to you again, but yeah, I can forgive you, you know. Or
yeah, you don't want to hold grudges. And
yeah,
be
it's just like to me it doesn't make any sense. Or like even like that too, it's like where it's gonna stop me from doing things with certain people, you know. That like I'm trusting of everybody before I wouldn't be, until you fucking prove me wrong. You
Yeah.
know? And once you prove me wrong, never again will you have my trust. But like I start off like so like if we like for example me and you we just met today. You know I'm starting off the bat like I trust you. You know what I mean until like either I fuck it up or you fuck it up, and then that's basically doesn't mean that I won't talk to you down the line.
Yeah.
But you know at the same time too it's just like don't expect me to trust you in anything again or vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense, man, and I wish more people would go about it that way, you know. But sometimes people have dealt with more issues, more experiences, more, you know, situations where they've been screwed over a lot more, and sometimes they can't. So I guess
I've
it's
been
very
screwed over left and right. This is
Yeah.
that's kind of like the way it's like kind of a bit on the crazy side. It's just like why would you fucking think like that now? You're fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
again, like if you just heard me a little while ago, I said I'm probably like the stupidest person you know, even though I'm older than a lot of you guys. But it's just like it's not so much that like if I see it as I'm being stupid or anything like that. It's just like I want to give people the benefit of doubt. You know, it's like you know like that coming out the bat, not trusting, not hate, and like hating on people like that. It's like we need
Your
we need
world's tiny
change,
if you do
man.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Your
And
world's
it's like
tiny if
my
you do
world's
that.
been tiny for who fucking knows how long, and
Yeah, man.
after a while it gets exhausting, it gets tiring, you know,
Yeah.
because yeah, I've been like that, you know, like I don't want to live that I don't want to live that way anymore.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, it's like I have no problem forgiving people, but just doesn't mean that I'm gonna forget, you know. So it's like don't expect me to be a certain way with you like we were before, given everything that's happened. And once you lose my trust,
Yeah.
you know, so it's like
Yeah.
we can be cool. Don't get me wrong. It just
It just
it
won't
just
be
won't be the same.
Yeah.
don't expect me to have a beer with you or something like that. You know, it's
Yeah.
like
It's cool.
Yeah.
We're acquaintances now. Where
If that.
if I see you, hey.
yeah,
that's
I
it.
could be cordial with anybody.
cordial.
Yeah,
There we
but
go.
like I don't know, cause even like the like friend is like a term that's used loosely nowadays. You
Yeah.
know, it's like yeah, acquaintance more, or friend, or like a hey you, like cause that's what I like to be called. You know, every now and then when people are like they don't know my name, they normally like hey you, oh yeah hey what's up yeah. You know,
Hey, you.
I'm cool with that. You know, it's like shit. You don't need to
It's
know my
one word.
name.
Hey, you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, that's. I don't know, man. Life's crazy, dude. Like when you take it all like at once, it's fucking. When you try to analyze it all at once, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I try not to do that anymore. Just like,
You
cause just like
live it. Don't. Some people dwell in the past too. Like they,
I'm fucking notorious for that.
yeah. You like
I'm
always
fucking
think of,
notorious
like,
for that.
yeah.
You know, and it's but as like I was mentioned a little while ago, it's just like you know I'm trying to get past shit like that, and that's why I'm saying is just like I don't mind doing certain things anymore or giving people benefit of the doubt anymore because I don't want to live like that because it's a lonely fucking life, man.
Yeah, man.
And like I lived in the past fucking too much, and like what has it got me? Like you know friends I've lost that like were like you know I considered family at one point, you know, or family that I lost that you know that were literal fucking blood family that I no longer talk to because I can't let go of the past. And so it's like I'm trying to turn a new leaf now and try shit different, and you know that's
I think you're going about it the right way, man.
I hope.
I mean,
I hope.
it may seem difficult now, but like forcing yourself to open up like this, man, it's in the long run is beneficial. One, look at all the new people that you've met, all the new friendships that you've met.
Literally.
You know,
I meeting fucking street siders kind of been like a blessing in disguise because like you know he fucking okay there's this a rapper that he knew that I met back in fucking like my junior high maybe high school days and like in the late 90s early 90s
you met this
I met him
rapper?
just recently not too long ago
Okay.
Crazy Race and he was like I'm like, when the fuck do I know you from? And then he's like, oh, this is Crazy Race. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Dude, you fucking did a presentation at my fucking school back when I was younger. I met you. I had your fucking first CD, and it was just like crazy.
What the fuck?
Exactly, right? And then
Fucking
who did we
small
meet
world.
after that? Like, he introduced me to Mellow Mayonnaise. Mentirosa guy that sings that song Mentirosa.
Oh, I don't
No,
know. About
I don't want to sing it because I fucking suck and like my voice probably sounds shitty anyways.
yeah, like I would have recited it, but
Yeah, so let me just stop right there. Yeah, but he introduced me to that dude. Like, I'm like, again, like, dude, you look familiar, but I couldn't picture it, you know. And so just like little things like that, like, you know, me kind of opening my eyes or like trying to go the route that I'm going now, it's open opportunities for me. And, you know, I've been meeting a lot of people along the way that, like, you know, I'm doing a couple collaborations with some other people because of it. And so, like, I got a couple things in the works that I'm collabing with some people, and
tight.
you know, so it's just like it's been opening up a lot of doors for me. Hosting the events, the same way, you know, it's like I'm meeting a lot of musicians that I'm helping out,
Same.
or artists that I'm helping out. So it's like a
It goes around, man. It
Yeah.
goes around. The more, it's cool that you're taking the initiative to give back.
I try
to
as
try
much
to
as I
give
can.
back.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and obviously it's also beneficial for you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, you're also helping like other people. You know, and
I,
the way to do it,
I think
man.
a lot of people see it that like when you're hosting events that you're all about making the money or doing it for the money. It's like, no, yeah, sometimes I charge my fees and anything like that, but you guys
but
don't
that's
know
that's normal. Like it takes money.
to make
to make
money.
money,
But in a
yeah.
sense, I'm not making money, and like I'm not afraid to like admit it or anything like that. It's like, so like say for example, I have a show. I'll help the vendors out, or they'll pay the fee, but I'm paying it to somebody else, or like a musician or the venue,
Yeah.
or I'm coming out of pocket, you know, for
Oh,
like
wow. Just to make sure it goes.
everything goes, you know,
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't realize that, and that's why I
Yeah, 'cause
like
they
a
have
lot
that
of
skeptical view, like,
Yeah.
oh no, this person's trying to make money off me.
yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know. I don't think I've had a show where I've actually literally made money. I think like I maybe break even where I have enough to cover the event, cover the musicians, cover the venue.
But at least everybody had a fun time. People connected. People
Exactly.
like, got to
You
know each
know,
other.
yeah, and you know, networking, exposure, you know, so it's cool, and that's the way how I see it. But eventually, I'm trying to get it to a point where I don't have to do a fee with anybody. You know, it's like, you know,
So you can just host them.
you host them, and yeah, you just set up.
That'd
Who
be
wants to
cool.
come? Let's do it. You know, like I'm all for it. I'm not there yet. I'm working it, but it's been a process, and being.
When'd you start? When'd you start doing
When
it?
did I start
Was it
actually
this year
doing
or
the curating?
The whole
or,
curating and trying to host your own stuff. I know you've been doing art for a while, but like do your own.
Doing my own, probably my first event was in April.
Oh, so you just started.
I just started. I'm a newbie, literally a newbie.
Yeah,
But
man.
I think I would like to say that I think I've got it down to a point where if I were to ask certain people to come do my event, they'll do it. Same thing where it goes with musicians. You know, it's like, hey, I got this thing going on. You want to come play at my event? You know, so it's
Yeah.
like I think I'm kind of at that
So
level
you've
where I
built
can.
a good amount of a community.
Yeah.
You build a community with artists. And
I would like to
vendors
think so, and I hope so. If you guys are listening, I hope we
Yeah,
are.
man.
We're cool,
Yeah,
guys.
Definitely, definitely give them a
Um,
shout out, man. Like, I mean, these are the people that are like willing
know,
to go out. Yeah.
Yeah, so and, you know, I get a lot of people that don't mind coming to my events and stuff like that. Some are, I guess I can consider them regulars, and then some I are new people that I meet. I don't know how, but it's like always referrals. Like, hey, you know, so and so got an event. You know, you check them out or whatever. So I'm grateful to everybody that's ever referred any artist to any one of my events. You know, and it's cool. And that it's again it's bringing that community together. It's like sometimes when I post, it's like I'll throw that hashtag community over competition or something along those lines. I think that's what it is. But it's basically I mean it. You know, it's like I want the community, the art community, to come together in any type of way that we can. And it's not being competitive with each other. Because at the end of the day, it's just like it just there's a lot of rifts between people, or people don't like you, like people, and it's like there should be no reason for all that. You know, if we're in it for the art, it should be just about the art.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where I'm going towards with this, and that's where I'm hoping to go with it. And if you want to come along with the ride, then hey, let's do it, man. I'm all for it. You know, the
man.
more the merrier.
Yeah. That's I'm trying to build the community with this too, man. With the podcast.
podcasting.
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, it'd be great if other people watch, but honestly, if the artists are the ones watching, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
For me, because I mean, I've had artists on here that see other artists that they look up to,
Mhm.
and then this dude, people don't realize how personable this conversation back and forth.
Oh, I
one-on-one.
know.
It is, man.
I just started like realizing that after you said that. It's like, shit.
How much
Should I have said that?
you've spoken about yourself.
Yeah.
You've spoken about your personality, the way you view things, your purpose and your goal with your events.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like you're not selling me anything. We're talking. We're having a normal conversation like we were sitting down drinking, chilling, fucking drawing. You know, like, and I think that's why I fucking have so much fun with these things, dude.
That's
like,
cool.
I
No,
get to know
I get it.
artists. They tell me about them. I get to pick their brain how they go about creating their artwork and stuff like that,
Mhm.
which is what I fucking enjoy a lot.
That's
you know,
dope.
and then also like, hey, you know, the biggest point of this podcast was I was looking for a podcast where I could, like, I wanted to hear artists. I got into podcasts. I'm like, I want to hear artist-based podcasts. Like, I hear comedy. I hear all kinds of stuff,
Right.
and it's funny. But I want to hear some artist stuff. Like,
Mhm.
I'm an artist. Like, I want to hear other artists speak. And I found a lot of cool ones. But the thing is, it's like an interview-based type of thing, and it's with like artists who are like at the highest level of their career, which is great. It's nice hearing how they got there and hearing the process and stuff.
Right.
But I want to hear from people like in the trenches with me, like going through the same struggle that I'm going, trying to get a show, trying to, you know, all the same stuff, and seeing their point of view in that situation. Not after you've had your realizations, not after you've already had, you know, your mistakes are already done. No, while we're all still making mistakes and we're all still trying to figure it out, you know, I want to hear that. And I hope other people want to hear that. Like, they want to hear people in the same situation and not feel like they're alone. Like, sometimes you feel like, fuck, why can't I sell shit? Why is my stuff not, why don't people like my stuff?
Right.
And it's like, it's not that, man. It's just like, it's a normal process. It happens to everyone. You're not the only one dealing with this. Like, you know,
We all go through it.
we all go through it, man. Like, sometimes one of the biggest things was like when someone walks in and they make a face at your work.
Oh,
And they don't
yeah.
mean to. And you know,
I've gotten
when
that.
you see it and you're like, and you don't want it to hurt you, you know, but it's so personal. Like, you're still so
Yeah.
personal. It's like, all right, cool. Like, you don't have to make that face.
You know,
Like,
it's funny that you mentioned that because, like, you know how I told you before I went into the service I was a certain way?
Uh-huh.
When I see that shit sometimes, it's like, oh, you motherfucker, dude. Like, what the fuck? You know, like, I just want to
Yeah.
go back to I'm going to punch this fool right now. Get the fuck out of my booth, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, like, but I
You know?
can't.
And
I
you
realize,
can't
like,
take
you know,
it on them.
no.
They sometimes
It's their
don't know.
opinion.
And it's their opinion.
You
They
know,
don't
yeah, and that's
You
what I
can't-
gotta
you can't beat
remember.
somebody up
At
for
the
their
end of the
opinion.
day, that's your opinion, and you know, it's
Yeah.
like I have mine just as you have yours. I respect that, you know, but just kind of next time you make that face, kind of turn the other way, bro.
Yeah, I
At
wish,
least
but
not, you know.
you can't change them. All you can do is make yourself stronger and
Yeah.
be like, like, it's cool. Like,
No,
whatever,
it's
you know?
I've gotten that a lot, you know, and it's like shit. And then you know, then that gives you like that self doubt, and it's like fuck,
Yeah,
well,
and
what
it
did I do
sucks.
wrong? And you know, it's like. Wow, maybe they just had like a fucking to sneeze or something. They made it some crazy face and it was a false alarm. And you're over here taking it all personal.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, but yeah, I get it.
Maybe they were
dude, like,
talking about something before they stepped in front. And
Yeah,
like,
you know?
and it's like you can't take it out on them. But at the same time, like, you just have to learn to maneuver.
Yeah.
Your own fucking insecurities, man. That's the thing.
And I think that's what a lot of us need to like work on because it's like that's like a common thing, you know. It's like we all have our insecurities. Like me, I'm my own worst critic, and I
Yeah.
think every artist is the same way.
Yeah.
And if you're not, there's something wrong with you because like to say that you're not
those
is
arrogant.
like
You're those
yeah.
arrogant artists that like think everything they create is the shit, and they're
Exactly.
willing to tell you about it.
Yeah.
Like, that it's like, come on.
No, and see, like, you could tell me up and down that into your face is blue that, oh, your shit's good. And then, they're like, but I'm just like, yeah, but what about,
You don't
know,
believe it.
I don't, you know,
don't believe
it's
it.
like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, it's like, oh, I appreciate the compliments. I mean, I love them.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you
but at
so
the same
much.
time, too, yeah, but I just like, I still have my doubts, you know?
Yeah. And or even doubts, it's like, yeah, thank you, I appreciate it, like, but you know where you need to be.
Yeah.
Like, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're creating something, you're like, yeah, this is the best thing I could have made ever. Stop painting. Like, you're not creating to for the love or to create something. You know, you're creating. Now it's just like vanity. Now you're
Yeah.
just like, you're being vain. Like, oh yeah, I'm the shit. I create fucking dope ass shit. Like, now you're not the artist that's pushing to create stuff that hasn't been created before
Mhm.
as a personal thing. Now you're just like, you're in that limelight of whatever clout or whatever popularity
Ego.
this artwork gets you.
Yeah, or ego. Yeah, exactly.
Ego, yeah.
You know, I think the day that if I was ever to reach that plateau or that level or anything like that, or even if I ever think that, you know, is the day that I'll fucking quit art forever.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in that room because there's always room for improvement. You know,
always. I don't.
and like I only work with acrylic. I'm trying to dabble in fucking oils now, you know, and
Yeah.
it's so that's me trying to improve myself, but I know I fucking suck at it.
Yeah, but
But I'm gonna learn.
Dude,
I'm not giving
you
up.
more than anyone knows how good you were when you first started drawing to how good you are when right
Oh
now.
shit, dude! If you see my
It's
fucking
such
shit
a
when I was
big-
5 years old, my
It's
Ninja
such
Turtles
a
I used to
big-
draw,
yeah, dude,
ooh,
it's such a big
those shits were
difference.
bad. No, just kidding.
Some fucking some circles and shit.
Oh, they were fucking horrible. I wish I still had those drawings, man. Because like I think when I first started was when I think that was probably like one of my first type of drawings that I did was Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
I was
Ninja
probably
Turtles are the
like
shit,
maybe
dude.
5, 6 or so, and it was like Ninja Turtles was like big back in the 80s or late 80s, and it was just like, yeah, I'm fucking born in the 80s, and I was already a certain age, so I'm old, yeah. But they were like real big back then, and like that was like I think one of the first type of drawings that I did.
Oh, how cool.
Like was Ninja Turtles. So like I was really into them, and then when they started making the movies, I was like, oh hell yeah, you know, it's like freaking
The
Secret
live
of the
action movies?
live action
Yeah.
ones, and then like Vanilla Lies did a couple songs on it.
Oh yeah, that's the
that was like
that was on the
pretty
third
dope.
one, right?
I think part
Oh, two,
the
two,
Secret
two,
of the
yeah.
Ooze or something like that.
Yeah, two. That's the
so
one where
it's
Shredder
like-
gets all big.
Yeah, you know, so it's like it was cool, and I think if I ever had like if I was ever able to find anything that I did when I was younger, I would definitely love to show those because like you can see the progress from how I was then to the way I am now.
Yeah.
And I still have room to grow. You know, it's like I can never stop learning when it comes to art, and I think that's one of the things that I love so much about it.
Yeah.
You know, chopping it up with people like you guys, and you know, like getting different ideas. Cause Street actually gave me some ideas on how to do certain things with backgrounds. Like, he told me to try to do a black background because I was doing a gold background. And so like do black first and then do the gold and add one more coat. And like the way that it fucking came out versus me doing it just the gold straight, it was just like you tell the difference, you know what I mean? So it's like little tips that I get from different artists, you know, like I love that shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah,
And
man.
it's
And you
just
feel
like-
cool. You're like, all right, cool, I'm gonna try it. And
Yeah.
it makes you want to go home and like try it. Or
I literally
whatever, yeah.
did, like, cause like
Yeah.
I think when he had told me that we were out at an event, and I think that same night I went home and tried it, and then I let it dry overnight, and I went back to apply the second coat of gold the next morning. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, dude! I fucking messaged him right away. I'm like, you know, I gave him like the credit, you know, like thank you for fucking giving me this tip and shit, and like.
Yeah.
I just wish that more of us can be like that, you know. It's like that one person I mentioned earlier about the oils. She doesn't know me, but she randomly just gave me some tips on oils, you know. It's like that's fucking cool, dude. Like,
Yeah, I wish more artists. Right?
Yeah.
And you know what? The ones that are open to it will appear themselves, you know, and they will introduce themselves to you. And the ones that aren't, it's cool. Like you don't need people like you know, that aren't gonna be in that where they're like willing to be.
Yeah. No,
don't
I
know,
agree.
Not so about their stuff. You
Yeah.
know? And sometimes in certain environments, I get it.
yeah.
Like tattoo artists.
Oh
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
something like that.
talking about like whatever, but I've noticed that in a tattoo shop, it seems a little more dog eat dog, a little more competitive.
Yeah.
And yes, there's a lot more money in it,
Hmm.
you know, but there's that.
Yeah.
There's that aspect to it, and not everyone has it. And this is, you know, but I'm basing it on places that I've been to, and I've had friends who were artists at and stuff like that.
Right.
And like, you know, you hear stuff. You hear
Yeah.
stuff, and it's like,
Oh,
and it doesn't
again,
mean to,
the art community is
you
a
know?
small community,
Yeah,
man.
man.
You hear everything. It's just like the same thing. Like we were going back to like that. Like Dottie, for example, she didn't have to give me permission to do this. You know what I mean? She could have been
Exactly.
like, no, that's my work. That's my original character. Like no, she could have just said no right up front.
Nope.
You know,
Yeah.
but no, she was like, oh hell yeah, you know, like she was all for it, and it's
Yeah.
like she's probably like one of my top 3 favorite artists. And you know, and every time I tell her that, she's just like, she thinks that I'm just bullshitting, but in reality, it's not. This actual character is the same character that I fell in love with her work with. You know, so it's kind of like funny. It's just me basically paying homage to her. You know, just as that she's
Like
such
an
a good artist,
inspiration,
and she
yeah.
was like one of my inspirations as I started painting. You know, I'm like, do something like that. I was like, shit, I fucking was intimidated to do stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because I see a lot of people's artwork and they're so amazing, and it's just like. But then again, that's when I started learning that like I can't judge myself or
Based
my
on
work based
some-
on somebody else's. You know, you want to
That's
reach.
the first thing you gotta learn.
Yeah,
right there, or
you got to
else you're
reach
gonna-
your level, not theirs.
Yeah.
You know, and then once you figure that out, it's like it's just like you set your own lane, you know, and it's like opens
And
up
you
for
can use
different
them
things.
as the goal.
Yeah.
You can use them as a goal, but never use it as that thing
Yeah.
fucking beating you down. Like,
Yeah.
You're not as good as like, you know. It's like, nah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's crazy though.
And
but-
it's hard, man. When an artist, and honestly, I always tell people too, like if you want to help yourself, kind of get out of that. I've met so many artists who are like, yeah, I like to draw, blah blah blah, and I was like, oh, cool. So like, do you ever do anything like with other artists and all that? And they're like, oh no, and they don't even have art friends. Like nobody in their life creates art, and they're like, I just find it hard, kind of, to get into the mood of
Yeah,
drawing.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, because you don't hang out
you
with
don't
any
hang with any
artist.
artists. You have
When
nobody
you don't
else
hang out with any artist, it takes you 10 times longer
to
to
get
try
inspired.
to create something.
Yeah.
And it's like when you surround yourself by artists, you'll find yourself creating. And if you're not creating around artists who are creating, you're being lazy, and you'll see it eventually, and you'll be like, I wanna make something, or you
Yeah.
know, you be motivated.
And that's kind of like when I go to these shows or something like that, and like if I'm not hosting, I'm just actually going out there to network or to support other artists or whatever. It's like at the same time too, I'm like being inspired by your guys'
Right,
work, you know. And then
yeah.
next time, it's like, hey, I'm gonna go and work on this thing now because I got these ideas running through my head now, you know. And so it's just like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
like
you
they
bring-
need to get out there and or do something that's gonna inspire
Surround
you.
you,
Yeah,
surround yourself by
definitely, man.
Like weightlifters, hang out with other weightlifters.
yeah.
Yeah, because they motivate them. It's like basically like the same thing. Like, I'm gonna go and lift like
You can
5
do it.
pounds, but don't mind me, dude. I'm just like fucking trying to join your club, man. But it's the same thing. Like anything that you do, like whether it's sports, weightlifting,
You're
art.
weightlifting, bro?
Oh no.
I was like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it no more though. But like, it's like, yeah, don't count me in on that one, man. I'll stick to the art. It's like, but like it's like anything that you do, like you have that group that's gonna motivate you or anything like that, or to push you. It's gonna get you to reach your new heights or
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
that you never thought you were able to do before,
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how I see it though nowadays. And I've been inspired by so many people now. It's just like I can't do what you do, and I have different styles from the next person, but doesn't mean that I'm not gonna try and create new shit, So it's like,
All right, man. Well, we've done probably like an hour and a half. What does it say there?
holy shit!
Ooh.
2 hours? So we're
Well,
at 2
8
hours.
minutes and
Doesn't even
Because-
feel like it's been that long.
So it's been 2 hours and a half because we did like half an hour before. We went
Oh,
to the
that's
restroom.
right. Yeah.
So probably like 2 hours and a half. So we'll cut it here.
Cool.
Thank you for coming out, man.
Oh,
I
thank you
really
for having me,
appreciate
man. I
it,
really, really
and
appreciate
you're
it,
always
dude.
welcome back.
Oh,
Man.
thank you, man.
And
I
if you
appreciate
guys are
it.
ever in the area, the studio's open. We can come kick it, paint, chill.
Awesome.
And all that
Thank you
stuff.
for the invite,
All right.
man. I appreciate it.
Bye bye.
Thanks again, brother. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Well, it's been a pleasure, man.
So,
Did it roll?